will definitely not be restream. That'd be really funny though, restreaming Grant's like Discord video.
But then you pass stuff as you playing it is the thing. That's why it's still worth stream.
I'm kind of sad in the regards of no. There's like we've been engaging within this game, which makes me happy. But at the same time, it's been a while since I actually participated in banter ideas. But we haven't been talking about banter ideas, so I haven't been able to talk about.
We have so many.
We have a lot.
I thought about adding to it
for the Olympics. I was like, the Olympics was like 2 weeks ago. I hope you remember whatever that is.
There have been definitely long stretches of time where I have no banter ideas whatsoever, and then we just have to. I'm like, all right, let's talk about everyone else's. But now that we're too busy to do banter, I've been having a bunch of banter ideas recently.
Like even the other day or yesterday, you were talking about how you had like multiple dreams that had like Oboe stream in them. And it's like, man, I really wish we could hear about that, but we're playing Ace Attorney.
We're actually engaged within the game, which, by its regards, it's good.
I was literally thinking this. I'm glad we brought this up as just a note.
So, depending on when we finish this case, which I don't think we'll be finishing it today, obviously. I think we probably have about 2 more episodes left, maybe. But when we finish this, we'll probably take a wee bit of a break and just do some, chill streams where we can actually get through some of these fucking banter topics.
Okay.
But it also is kind of bad because I am here to say I will not be streaming tomorrow. I am going to be canceling it because originally I didn't think I was going to be doing anything for my birthday. I thought it was just going to be like a regular day, and I was kind of happy with that. And then everybody's over the house right now because most people thought that today was going to be my dad's last day here in North Carolina, but it looks like his flight tomorrow morning might get canceled due to a hurricane.
Oh my.
So now it's like, hey, Zach, do you want to have a party? And I was like, nah. It's like, all right, well, we're going to do something. And I'm like, great.
One of my players in one of my D&D games actually told me just today that they might not be able to make it because of a hurricane later.
There you go.
Well, maybe same hurricane.
So, small world.
Yeah.
Hurricane.
Only so many states that are populated by people in the Americas.
Only so many. Only about 50. Okay. With all that being said, I think we'll be square. Actually, you know what? Before we start Ace Attorney, because for those of us who were here last night, meaning everybody but Grant, we remember exactly where we left off. So I don't necessarily want to be in the middle of a conversation when we get to that, because I want Grant to experience it wholesale. But what should we play when we get to like just chill stream? Because I have a lot of stuff.
Gardic phone.
Actually, is Gardic a banter? Yeah, Gardic could be a banter type thing. I just uninstalled all of the Jackbox games off my computer, so that one's kind of annoying. Because I was gonna say, like, we could fall back on like classic stuff that we played before, like Risk of Rain 2, because that's like really easy for me to just mindlessly play while we do whatever. But Gardic might be a good solution, actually. Okay, I'll put that on the list. Give me 1 second.
My tablet does not work with Gardic phone for whatever reason, so I have to nerf myself by using a mouse.
I don't remember. Is Gardic free? Gardic is free,
yes, right? It's browser based. Yeah,
it is browser based.
It's like code
okay.
names.
It's based.
It's based.
It's based.
All right. Cool. All right, so we have that plan. So in theory, when we finish case 3, we'll take like a weekend off and just do chill stuff, so that way we can go through the banter topics. Because that was the thing. I was like, I remember yelling at Saba, being like, you need to put more stuff in banter, so that way you can be like more active. And then she does, and I'm like, great.
I never get to talk.
Well, it's just like, this isn't a banter game, and it's like, damn it. Anyway, moving on.
It is a testament to how much we enjoy this game, because there were definitely long stretches of time in the other strategy games where we would just banter. But we just are too engrossed in this.
Really like it. Yeah.
Okay, Grant, are you ready for this?
Maybe could be.
I have to actually have stream on. Hang on.
You're not ready for this. That's a spoiler warning.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I stopped streaming.
Oh, you're not going to see the animation. Anyway.
No.
So his really intense desk slamming is hitting it with his leg.
While he holds a
Kicks it.
wine glass in one hand,
Oh my god.
a goblet, a chalice, as he
Oh
keeps
no,
saying.
you also haven't met the other new character, have you? In terms of like.
Oh
yeah.
yeah. All right. Well,
Oh,
obviously she'll be
God.
relevant,
We'll get
so
there.
we'll get there. All right, Adrian. I know you already read this, but read it again.
Hang on, I just had Jack in the Box earlier, so my vocal cords are fucked. Hang on.
Also, if I take a minute to get into mine as well, forgive me.
If the sight of my iron-heeled Wellington offends, pray do forgive the discourtesy.
Don't wait. I saw a quick flash.
This really is a consummate example of the one monumental flaw in British judicial practices.
Racism.
The fact that racism. The fact that it
The fact
relies
that-
heavily on the opinion of 6 uneducated people.
Where evidence and reasoning should be paramount, emotion rules the day.
Couldn't
Yeah,
you
that
say
makes
that
sense.
for the beginning of this as well?
No,
sir?
Saba, I was winning, so I liked it.
No, see, when I win, it's facts and logic. When you win, it's emotion and fickleness.
Yeah, exactly.
Destroyed with facts and logic.
When I do well in life, it's because I tried really hard and like applied myself. When you succeed in life, it's luck and you should kill yourself. Anyway,
Boomer.
hey, Boo, you just call me a boomer.
When I succeed, it's because I have a storied history, a degree, and practice. When you succeed, it's because the player character's controlling you.
All right, that one's a little too accurate. Emotion?
The witness's latest statement gives us a clear insight into his true nature.
What do you mean, his true nature?
Do you really think Scotland Yard would have made such a glaring omission? After the incident, the omnibus was comprehensively searched by officers of the police. Obviously, the interior of this cubbyhole, as the witness put it, was included in their investigation.
But
Yeah, it was filled before.
yeah,
We
yeah.
all know
So what
that.
is that? Why was it? That must be a thing, right?
Should we fill in for Grant? 'Cause
Oh yeah,
I'm
there was a
gathering some
smoke
conflict.
bomb, and then like
There was a smoke. I forgot about the
Brick.
smoke bomb.
yeah, there was a smoke bomb. People got evacuated. They said they found a
So-
girl.
Yeah.
And then we went back into like the bus, and then we saw that this
Well-
section was empty, and there was more blood on the
And there was and there was a
That's-
second blood stain in the middle of the floor this time, which was
That's-
very strange.
That's the second half. The first half is that we did successfly get all the jurors to announce innocence.
That
And
is
then,
true.
And then
Grant,
we,
good response.
And then we had the witnesses retestify. Turns out none of them saw the actual moment of the murder. They all just
Oh
kind
yeah, I
of.
knew that.
They all
Right.
lied.
And then it
was there
turns
for that.
out that they concluded when, there must have been someone else in there. Turns out our defendant agreed and said, yeah, there was.
But I didn't
And then-
want to. But I didn't
Oh.
want to give her up because I knew she couldn't have done the murder because I was sitting on the place where she was
And,
hiding.
And also, supposedly, he didn't want to, as to kind of give himself a better appearance, didn't want to put a young girl of age 15-ish in the line of fire for being guilty
What
because
is with
she's
all these
15.
15-year-old women committing
Because
murder?
age is a convenient alibi, Grant.
Okay.
Everybody knows you can't commit murder if you're pretty and or a child. You know this.
Oh no.
Yeah, Dahlia never committed murder. The compartment under the posterior seat was full of the coachman's belongings. True.
Based.
It's noted in black and white here in the police report.
Lord,
Why don't we have color yet?
I fell asleep like that last hour.
The evidence has been tampered with. He was just sleep talking as Lawrence.
Yes.
In order to corroborate Mr. McGilden's story,
Oh.
someone has unlawfully removed everything from under the seat.
Well, it's not us.
What?
We already saw this. What?
No. But this is the first
We
time.
haven't gone over it in court.
Yeah, I'll say this is the first time that the court is officially acknowledging that the coach has been tampered with. Yeah. I don't know, man. I still think it would be fucking dope if they just wheeled in a different carriage. That'd be
shit.
fucking sick.
How could such a devious contrivance possibly have been affected, Council?
Cranberries?
Watch, Zach. The number on the coach was actually different, and that's like the one thing we actually missed. And even though
Because we just
asked
didn't
about
remember. I thought it was
Yeah.
418.
but didn't
I was
we see
hoping it would be
410?
like Gregory Edgeworth bus.
No,
Like changing
that
it
would.
from Phoenix, right?
Yeah.
That's too
But
obvious.
we did.
Wait,
we
no,
did
wouldn't it
check,
be
so-
wouldn't it be Miles Edgeworth because Greg was his dad?
Oh right, Miles Edgeworth.
Just Ace Attorney character. It's what Salmonella Bus, the most important character. Naturally, we must acknowledge the deficiencies of the constabulary in allowing this to have happened.
Is
That's some big
constabulary what happened to the victim?
He was constabbed.
He was
That's
the
a murder.
constabulary, you see.
That's what they call a murderer's repertoire of murdering moves, the constabulary.
Ooh.
However, I assure you, when the omnibus was wheeled into the courtroom this morning, the compartment under the seat was not empty.
Yeah, we saw it. We checked like 50 times.
This is like a more attractive version of the same face I make when it's game night and people are arguing about whether or not they like win the game. I'm just like, get over it. Moving on.
When someone
when it's
clears
like
an
you and
entire
Janine.
landing of like 40 soldiers en
I
route.
was just about to make that joke. Why would you get the points for that? Well, because I'm the one that made it happen. What are you talking about? We fought each other. I wouldn't have rolled so well if I knew you were getting the points.
We're
Janine.
suddenly in a courtroom.
And then we spend an hour looking up the rules, and she's fucking right.
I was about to say we have already like put away the game.
Yeah.
No, like if I remember correctly, when that happened, we just sat there for like an hour as Janine and I were like stewing in our rage, and then like she shows me like the guy on a forum being like, "Oh yeah, that's intended," and it's like, what?
The creator himself have said it. It's
Yes,
intended.
Zach's whole
God.
perception of the game has changed afterwards.
Me?
When the carriage was submitted as evidence, doubtless you examined it in fine detail, as would any self-respecting practitioner of law.
He's saying we did do that, right?
That'd be really cool if that was
That's
unique
what you-
dialogue for if you did do it.
Ray, what did you find to be the condition of the underseat compartment to be?
Oh my god. Oh yeah, that's the defendant.
Oh yeah,
Still
stop.
helping me
Stop.
out.
Am I still doing this? You want me to?
If
I'm about to say you already
yes,
have
you
her.
do it better.
So.
You do it better than me, Annie. I think you have an
Excuse
easier
you?
time.
You went to
You-
Ireland.
Did I suddenly become Irish? Is that
You
what you're
heard it
telling
for
me?
like
that's
2
what
weeks
happens.
solid. So
And you know
yes.
I'm not surrounded by them. I have forgotten everything in.
Oh, to be sure, the young gentleman will be able to clear this up in a jiffy. Sorry? Yeah, go ahead, lie on my behalf. You know, you're like my lawyer would.
Wink, wink.
How this is all an elaborate excuse by the desperate Lord Van Zeeks. No, I'm not gonna lie.
Well, counsel, do you have something to say on this matter?
Well, this matter is a plasma, ergo it does not have any mass, so how is that
On.
moving? Anyway. How am I supposed to answer? What can I say about the state of that little compartment under the seat? It wasn't empty.
Telling the truth even though.
I don't care, man. I don't lie. If this guy's a murderer, he deserves to go to jail, even if I lose my ability to become a lawyer.
But then Kazuma's spirit would go to waste.
It's okay. I'll just stab Van Zeeks.
I think it's still in his spirit.
I'd like
do
to
the
see
right
you
thing.
try, boy. Turns like a swarm of bats.
You have to fucking prosecute each one of the bats.
All right, we have over 600
the
witnesses.
jury is all bats.
it's 600 bats.
Or what if this whole thing turns out to be murder on the Orient Express and all the jury actually committed the crime?
What?
Did you just spoil Murder on the Orient Express?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You son of a bitch! I'm supposed to be reading that later this summer. No!
It's okay, you'll forget about it. It's not like nothing was spoiled
It's-
for me.
Barely summer. It's August.
Oh yeah.
It's still hot.
I'm about to say I live in
Technically,
North
10
Carolina.
days
It's still
left for
very
summer.
hot here. Anyway, it's okay,
Technically,
Saba.
really, Lauren?
It's okay, Saba. I forgive you. A courtesy I hope you pass on to those who may or may not spoil things in the
I
future.
mean, you kind of did for me for something, but it's okay.
Someone Genshin
I-
Impact!
I'm playing that right now!
Genshin Impact's an open world game?
What? When did this happen? Lawrence, you didn't tell me that.
It was a surprise.
When I
Okay.
first examined the compartment, I'm fairly certain there were a number of articles inside. Yes.
Are you sure, Counsel?
Ara Bewist. Is that how you say that? What is this?
Why is he saying Ara?
Because he's horny. What are you
Ara.
saying now, you daft doll? I thought you were on my side here.
He's not a Japanese mommy.
Don't say that.
What?
Not
It's
Japanese,
true.
the mommy part, please.
That's who says Ara Ara. What game are you playing?
What are you talking about?
The Great Ace Attorney Chronicles.
Didn't you check the stream category? Duh.
He, like, looks
I
below
don't
him.
read.
Shit.
Your task is to defend the man in the stand. I thought that said sand. Same thing in quicksand, right? Why would
The
you
judicial quicksand.
compromise his position?
Look at the shadow people
As the
behind
advocate
you.
for the defense in this trial, I confess I'm still not entirely sure where I stand. But it seems to me that I should state what facts I do know as clearly and as honestly as possible. So I won't suck out your soul after all. Oh, dude,
Interesting.
could you imagine if we lose this, but then Ven Zeeks like vouches for us and is like, this man deserves to be a lawyer? That'd be sick.
Ooh, that would be pretty cool, actually.
'Tis not altogether pleasing, fella.
Where are me lucky charms?
Where are me lucky charms? I'm simply telling the truth, Mr. McGilded. Well, don't forget that you're supposed to be representing my best interests here, lad. Now then. A fella's memory is a curious thing, and not altogether reliable. No, the court must consider the facts. Who are you? I'm the lawyer! You're the murderer, theoretically.
He's defending himself. He fires you.
Oh,
Consider the fact that that there cubby hole under the seat is as empty as the devil's heart, so it is. Do you think perhaps it would be in your best interests not to admit that you might have made a mistake?
Now to admit.
Shut up, everybody's fine! Why do I feel like something's not right here?
Because it isn't. Duh.
Something's not right here. I should like the jury to weigh in on the matter, I think.
Something's not right here. Everyone just says that.
The Merman designed the house killer could have used the mustache smooth as cabbage. Most exam must be properly fully cooked at all times.
Say something like cabbage?
Oh my gosh.
So, empty not question. Beppo is not responsible.
Did
So
you
this
say
is the voice he
Beppo?
gave him. This
Did
is
someone
really
say
funny.
Beppo? He shows up in like a superhero outfit.
Somebody let a police or a quick person lying.
oh, here we go again.
Uh-oh. Oh, no.
Hold
This
up.
literally does not prove anything, though. Even if there's stuff in there, she still might be able to fit. Why is it?
I can't believe I was nearly taken in. The stinking rich are always stinkers. Nothing but cowards, a lot of them.
I can't believe I was almost taken in. It's me like trying to get Lawrence to sign the contract to our room.
I can't believe I was taken in. It's you trying to make me write down your slime name.
Slime name? Which name is that?
Slime man.
It was something.
I can't. It was trying to take me in.
It was something dumb and not very good that no one would want to pronounce ever.
Oh, so I didn't know what you guys were referring to when you were talking about like Fae name magic before, but I saw a post that was on r/D&D memes or whatever, and it was a party enters like the Fae lands for the first time, and like a little elf like scabbers up to them and he's like, "Hey, would you mind signing this so that way we can get you to where you need to go?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, sure." And all of them sign their name, and then the guy just leaves,
yikes.
and the DM is like, "Yeah, you all just lost your names. You have none."
No.
And it's like, oh, that's pretty scary actually.
Yeah,
That's classic. That's a classic example of name magic.
I have
thought
never
name
heard of that before, and it's pretty fucking sick.
I know there's like a thing. I don't know if I like literally losing a name, but I know it's like if you give up your name, then they can like control you. Is that like the same
That's
thing?
part of name magic, yes.
Okay, because I was like
There-
taking away the name. I'm like, I haven't heard of that as much.
Oh, just
Taking
make a
away
new
a name
name.
is more associated with Fae, and then like using a name to summon or control something is more associated with like devils and demons and whatnot who have secret names.
Oh, interesting.
So Rumpelstiltskin is a demon?
I mean, I said typically, but not always.
Yeah, see,
What
I
about
learned more of
Beetlejuice?
that from Faye stuff.
There you go.
So
What? No.
It's a trick. Of course it's a trick. Guilty.
God, if every
Wow.
case is like this, where we're just constantly going back and forth, I'm gonna explode.
I'm gonna pee his pants.
Pee your pants.
quite so, I must concur here.
Gonna cry. Gonna shit, maybe.
Could you imagine if by selecting that option, it was like an end game scenario and we just lost?
Oh no.
Can't wait.
But I don't want to lie.
How about that? I don't lie. Phoenix Wright taught me the meaning of truth and justice.
And talking out my ass.
With calm, calculated reasoning, one arrives clearly at the truth every time.
You have to understand just how long it took me to master the art of verbal flatulence so I could talk out of my ass. Yes, but every time a different truth, it seems. All right, well, we're even again.
He dismissed the music.
He did.
He has such
Stop.
astonishing control of this realm.
Holy shit.
Orchestra, stop! My lord, I humbly exhibit the scales of justice. Clearly, a verdict of not guilty at this time would be wholly inappropriate.
Thank you, counsel. But before we proceed any further, there is the matter of the outstanding cross-examination.
Oh, thank you,
Who's that
Judge.
on the left?
I like to think that I do a good work.
Counsel, for the defense, begin your questioning of the witness, please.
Yes, my lord. What just happened? The whole balance of this trial shifted to be a balance.
Almost like there's scales or something here.
The Reaper of the Bailey is at work, it would seem.
Is that what he's called?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
Could you
both
not-
lame
could-
and cool.
like whenever he talks, everything is about like phantoms and ghosts and like darkness and stuff, and it's like, yeah, you're a caricature.
Who's
Yeah,
that
so
on the
so
left?
this is I think her name was Gail
And Gina Lestrade.
Lestrade, Gina Lestrade, who Lestrade is one of the names of the general detectives from the Sherlock Holmes stories.
Neat.
Yeah.
Apparently
She's a
she's a
pickpocket, I
pickpocket.
think.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Did we already get this before?
Yeah, that's why it's green.
Okay, so I
So
don't
I
have to
snuck
say it.
inside the carriage before they before they hooked up the horses, just like always.
In case you don't know, she's very cockney.
Very cockney.
Very cockney.
If you could count the number of apostrophes in her text.
Yeah, what was the joke I made? What was the joke I made yesterday? Where if you start,
you know you're fucked if you.
You know you're fucked if you start talking to somebody and their subtitles have like 11 apostrophes.
It's just lines of apostrophes, nothing else.
So, you were already in the omnibus before it even set off on its run. Look, she has a little cat face because she's tiny child.
I like her coin flip.
Saba.
Oh, this is new. God dang it, yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, what's the point of spending Joey to make a few bob, eh? That's a rum idea, ain't it? It's not the same
Speak
thing.
Speak English! Damn it. Witness, I demand. Oh, that would be a great joke. I wish they would do that. Of like, witness, I demand you speak English in this courtroom.
They all turn to him.
I suppose she means there's no point in spending money to make money. It actually makes sense.
Oh, look, they're literally translating for you.
That's actually very helpful. Counsel, may I remind you that this girl is a petty thief. Kindly refrain from entertaining her tenants.
Tenet wasn't a very good movie, was it?
I never saw it.
I did. It was
Neither
kind of
did
boring.
I never saw it. The account hasn't been released yet, and it won't be for several centuries.
Well, that does clear up the little mystery of the fares and all. Or paying passengers at 5 pence apiece, making the 20 to which the cabman testified. Don't know where that came from. And one little scapegrace riding for free. What's a scapegrace? I gotta write that down. That's a great name for a video game.
Like a scapegoat, but very graceful.
Ah.
Red conk of a driver always goes for some grub before his last run, see?
Why do you sound so funny, lass? Why do you,
What are you talking about?
why do you
Don't look
sound
at
like
me.
that?
So that's why I slip into the carriage and get myself eaten under the seat, nice and easy, right?
Adrian's muted.
As soon as he comes up, he mutes himself.
No.
Sorry, I got told I have to go fucking home with groceries.
But the hiding place is a storage compartment.
Oh my
No,
god.
it's good.
He started decades
back in,
of
like-
smoking.
I'll be back in like 5 minutes. I got help with groceries.
Okay,
Goodbye.
I'll do this voice.
Oh my god.
No, I'm just joking.
Yeah.
It could be your angle or your devil.
Temp
I
man.
can be your angle. Okay, who wants to take him then? I guess while Adrian's gone.
I am temp man as usual.
Oh, it's Lord. That's Lord's job.
Oh
Your
no.
hiding place is a storage compartment
Nice.
full of equipment for the coach. No.
I'm a tiny little thing. I can fit right there.
If I turn sideways, I could
Yeah.
just fit right in between.
There's brushes and buckets and whatnot in there, sure.
Well, you see, if I can just fold myself 7 times, I can fit anywhere.
I could fit behind a lamppost. Just turn sideways, I'm two-dimensional.
I always chuck all that out and cram in a corner somewhere. No one ever seems to bother, Matt.
And yet, according to the report filed by the police officer who first arrived at the scene, the compartment was full of such paraphernalia.
Well, I don't know nothing about that. Like I said, I moved all that stuff out so I could hide under the seat. That's all I can tell you.
I'm really glad that, unlike in Ace Attorney 1, which I think only did this for Lot of Heart, when someone has like an accent, they like put it in the text, which is very nice, as opposed to everybody just being nothing.
Yeah. It seems we've reached the end of that line of inquiry. Continue.
Okay. I don't know, dude. It's been like 24 hours since last time we looked at this. A waste of time. Why is that?
Well, most nights I'm on my own in the gold permit. At least some of the time, I'm on.
God permit.
Uh,
I beg your pardon. Did you say God permit?
Oh my
Where did you
yeah.
get permitted to be a god?
well, that's what my kind call it. You'd say the omnibus, I suppose.
The god permit for the omnibus.
The point is, any normal run, the carriage ain't got no one in it for a while.
And that's when you come out of your hiding place and get away.
That's it. Only that night.
This
is
loud
cold.
ass was sitting on top of me.
How dare you? That's what I was going to say. Coach was sat on me seat from the start. And he didn't budge the whole way, did he? Not 1 inch. I was totally stuck.
Do you mean to tell us that you were present in the carriage for the duration? You were under the seat the entire time while events unfolded in the enclosed cabin?
Yeah. Right. Mister?
To be sure. I was shocked as anyone. This lass definitely isn't part of my criminal cabal. Don't expect, you don't expect to lift the cushion you've been sat on to find a child, do you?
I thought you were about to say criminal kebab. I'm like, what?
Criminal kebab!
Delicious.
You turn, he has a
It's
giant
good.
spike and he skewers her.
Yeah.
Oh!
Criminally delicious.
Yes.
So Miss Lestrade couldn't possibly be the culprit then.
Can't see him.
So how did you scream?
Oh, yeah, how why did
Lawrence, you made a good
scream?
point. Go back!
Oh wait.
Allow me to go backwards! You won't let me!
Well, look, this is what happens.
go
She's like,
back
after a
in
while, she
time.
hears a loud bang, and then she screams because it just happened.
Because she heard
Bullshit.
a bang.
Bullshit. You're like a tiny British delinquent child. You're used to like gunshots.
Hey, that's not very nice.
Where's your accent
She
going?
She says as she shoots everyone else.
Yeah, she
Oh
like
yeah,
loads
she has
it.
she has a smoke
Yeah.
grenade launcher. I forgot. When you say a loud bang, you mean the kind that was at the beginning of the universe? That's the correct response to that.
Could have been, I suppose. I don't remember so well. Point is, it made me jump.
And you let out a scream involuntarily.
That's right. And then I felt the cushion over me head get lighter all of a sudden.
Presumably when the defendant got up in order to help the victim, yes.
Or not.
He doesn't
It could
to
equally
stand
have been from the moment the accused stood in order to stab his victim, could it not?
No, because
Why would there have been a
Eh.
thud?
Yeah,
I'm
I'll say
back.
she heard the thud first, and then the weight got put off. So no.
I'm back. Hello.
Hello, Adrian. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Well, girl, did you see what happened at that crucial moment?
No, I'm fucking blind.
Yeah, I saw it.
Look
What
in
did I
the
miss?
eyes. Can you not tell that these are both glass?
Did I miss
Not a
any
whole lot. We're just
report
pressing
info?
the girl.
Yeah, we're just asking questions.
I push up the cushion
Not-
and
no
add a quick
important info.
butcher's. Yeah, I don't understand the language here. Well, I had the chance, didn't I? The Irishman was sitting up, the bloke would have fallen on the floor on the seat opposite. That matches Mr. McGilded's account, of course. But then the fella suddenly turned around and is looking right at me. I don't know where this accent's going. I can't.
Hanging
I
in-
sunk back down again, but it was too late by then. I should have never have risked looking.
You gotta lean into the wackiness. You gotta lean into it. This swell found me.
I can get it
Yell
easier
me,
when it's
get
in my
away.
head. When I can't imagine this voice
Do you
anymore.
want to
it, like,
take a quick
disappears.
minute to look up like something on YouTube that's just like a Cockney
Cockney
accent, so you can get your point of reference? The only reason I can do a bad Cockney accent is because that's what my internal monologue sounds like.
That's really funny.
All day it's just, hello, Guff! Do you want pasta again? You know, it's been more than 48 hours since you talked about JoJo. And when Mr. McGilda discovered you, he pulled you out from your hiding place.
I was scared stiff, I was. He dragged me out and set me down on the seat and all.
Was scared stiff.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Next to the victim, Mr. Mason.
Yeah, well, the bloke had a knife in his guts. He was still bleeding. Then the carriage lurched a bit and ended up falling onto me.
That's new information.
How awful. Both me ends got covered in blood. It made me sick as a dog.
Both their hands covered in blood. That must be what the rooftop passengers saw. After that, I believe you talked with Mr. McGilded for a while. Is that correct?
Shoot, I'm trying to look stuff up at the same time. He asked me some stuff. Wanted to know me name and what I was up to, ain't that? Then I heard something from above. Someone screamed.
Yes, Mr. First on the roof deck, one would presume.
Well, I didn't want no one to see me face, so I didn't look up. 'Twas the horses were drawn up smartish, and this here Irishman says to me. Smart.
So
this
Adrian,
here Irishman says to me.
So I guess Adrian was right, because in the guy's recollection, it was very clearly like a dude in a suit that was sitting there, which wasn't Mr. McGilded's outfit, but definitely isn't her outfit.
Definitely not.
Get back under the seat. I'll see that you can get away later.
Later.
Ladar! That's my favorite sci-fi weapon, the Ladar.
All 6 members of the jury have decided the defendant was innocent.
All 6 members of the jury! Like,
You
the
put
accents.
it-
God.
I'm sorry, I'm just thinking about, like, just fucking with their accents. Anyway, for one brief shining moment, yes.
It's clear that they are still very unsure. If we could just find some conclusive piece of evidence amongst the new testimony, I'm sure we would clinch the verdict we want. Is there such
Yes,
wording?
I think you're right. I have this niggling feeling. Something.
That's an outdated word.
Yeah.
Listen, something's bothering me, but I just can't quite put my finger on it.
So do we not do investigation? Like,
Well, so the entire second case was just an investigation with no trial. The first case was
No,
just
but-
a trial, no investigation.
yeah, I'm talking about this one. We've been here for a little bit, huh?
Well, what I'm saying is that I suspect that this game is one and then the other, one and then the other, like case over case, until we get to like
That's
case
kinda
5, maybe, where it's
strange.
both.
Okay. Because, I mean, Phoenix, right? We were back and forth all the time.
Right?
Well,
Maybe
for
they
2
learned
days.
that that's
For a
really disruptive to pacing.
I guess.
What is it, Zach? Is it really? Who's the Shutakumi and who's Zach?
Takumi.
The answer is me. I'm both of them.
Nice.
All right, we gotta. This is the only other thing we haven't pressed yet. So you
Hold it.
couldn't see out into the cabin at all.
Not a jot. Most days I push the cushion up with me head and look out the crack. Then I have a butcher's at whom I'm gonna fiddle.
Don't say it like that.
I don't go
What am I
fiddle.
gonna say? That's the freaking sentence.
Me, this 15-year-old little girl, I'm gonna fiddle ya.
Oh my god, Zach,
Pulls out
focus.
a violin.
I'm gonna give you a little fiddle, and she goes up a little bit more, and there's the violin.
I heard in the Americas they got the harmonica. I got my ear fiddle. That's why I play.
Oh, you were a
Well, I'll smack
pickpocket,
a
not a
man.
butcher.
I mean, I can have a look. The seat I get under ain't as plush as the other one, see? So most of the time, the passengers plant themselves opposite.
That's interesting. Because she said it's less cushioned, but he chose that side.
Done.
But for some reason that night, this here Irishman spent the whole journey right over me head.
And for that reason, you weren't able to push the cushion up to peek out. I see.
Alright, be right back.
Truth is,
Fine.
I ain't too happy in small dark places.
Oh.
Feels too much like being thrown in the clink.
I can't
I
freaking
guess in
believe that the
jail.
one thing we didn't press was the one that had this.
What do you
Of
think
course.
are the odds that she's working with Beppo and splits the cut with him?
Beppo!
I don't think
Uh,
it's high, but it's a possibility in my head.
That's interesting, I guess.
Because he's desperate for money in the late drives.
Is something
Clearly.
wrong, Mr. McGilded? Oh, I do apologize. Was there something the matter, Counsel? I was just wondering if Miss Lestrade's last comment made something occur to you, perhaps. You seem to be thinking of something to yourself. Oh, no. 'Twas nothing important. I'm just gonna squish my face. I was feeling bad for the poor lass is all. I remember feeling desperate myself as a young lad, shut up in the dark. 'Twas terrifying, so it was.
So you laugh about it.
I laugh at you for getting caught.
You're the one on
I
trial,
see,
not me.
yes. I'm sure we can all sympathize. I'm still scared of the dark now. Aye, and I don't know about yourself, but I find that the darkness seems to make everything you hear seem that much louder as well. He's so evil.
Yeah. I suppose it does, maybe.
Miss Lestrade, did you hear something that night? Anything? An unusual noise, perhaps? Maybe a little toot? Just a little...
Hmm. Nah, not really. All I could hear was the Irishman snoring. Dude, how long was she under there?
Bejabbers!
Years.
Bejabbers! There's no need to tell the whole world of me foibles, you little scamp.
I actually know that word. Hey, you can't fool me with that vocabulary.
What,
What
foibles?
a pity.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew that one. That one's good. It's a good word.
They fooled me. I don't know what it is.
Oh. It's just like a minor.
idiosyncrasies.
It's like a minor weakness. Or like a little
Or like-
folly.
Yeah, a little folly, a little mistake, a little thing.
If only Miss Lestrade had heard something, it might have given us a vital new clue.
Yes. What should we make of that last statement of hers? It's insignificant or it's profoundly important.
It's profoundly
Yeah,
important.
let me.
There are only two
do we
choices.
have any evidence to... We haven't referred to this at all yet, by the way.
No!
Do we have any reason to believe
To
that...
kill this man.
to kill
Wait,
this man. To
where
believe
was the
that...
button?
We don't know.
Don't know.
We don't know.
Could
and
it have been in the compartment, and that's why they like emptied it out?
What, in the little cubby hole?
Yeah.
Maybe, I guess. It does feel weird, though.
Like we still don't know who emptied it.
I'm pretty sure it was her, right? Like that was the reason why she had the smoke grenade go off. I know that this has fair play in it, but I wanted to see if maybe there was someone else in here.
Her.
You can read that?
No, but they do. Yeah, never mind. All right.
Actually, Zach took a course in Cogswell about how to read gibberish.
I remember there was like an online thing that I thought was real, where it was like a YouTube series where the guy claimed to teach you how to speak gibberish because it wasn't actually like he claimed that it wasn't actually about what you said. It was like the inflection and like the general sounds you made and how they related to each other that meant words. So you could just fill your language with nonsense, but the subtext would mean something. And so I was like really impressed with myself, being like, I know how to speak gibberish. And so I would say like hello in gibberish, and it just sounded like me being like a wackadoo. And then it turns out it was just the guy being like a weirdo online, and I was like, oh, I don't know how to speak gibberish. Boom, my lord. I believe that statement just made by the witness is profoundly important.
We don't know why, but
Profoundly
yes.
important. But all she said was that she heard nothing.
Yes, which is profoundly important. Which is the profoundly important point. I'm almost sure of it. Well, because if she heard nothing, wouldn't she hear the person getting stabbed? That makes noise. Stabbing someone makes noise.
I thought she was on the other seat though, right?
Right, but she heard, I don't know. She said she heard nothing. Wait, no.
Except snoring, right?
Yeah,
She said
except
she
for
could
the snoring, which I guess is, I don't know, anyway.
I'm almost sure that I don't understand the inner
The inner workings of your Eastern mind.
No,
As a
nevertheless.
That's why I only understand half of what Grant is thinking at any given time.
Shut the fuck up.
This is Gino Lestrade. You're some...
I'm just thinking about Grant talking to me, and I'm only picking up like every other word, and I'm like, wow. I can't
Wait,
even...
is this why half the time you say you have no idea what I'm saying?
Who?
Huh? Oh my god. It all makes sense now.
That's so funny.
You will supplement your formal testimony by repeating that last statement, please.
What? Supplement? What are you on about? Don't give me all your fancy talk. I know what you're trying to do. Well, it won't work on me.
That's right. Insult the judge. Always a good move.
I'll never understand the inner workings of your Western mind.
Which is why we only talk about JoJo.
Oh, and that's why I don't understand anything he says. Oh, okay, so it works out. Ooh.
I was straining my ears to work out what was going on, but all I could hear was snoring. So you were straining to hear what was happening the entire time, since the moment you hid yourself?
Not exactly, no.
Sorry?
Well, there was no one in the cabin to start with.
With it?
I could just push the cushion up and I have a butcher's. I hate this butcher's. I really
And I have a butcher's to see what?
I have a butcher's to see what was what. Yeah.
What was what?
But then when I saw this swelling getting on, I got my head down so he didn't notice me.
And Mr. McGilded sat on the seat under which you were hiding, correct?
Yeah. What you Adam and Eve? What a mug. This is lingo that I've never like witnessed
Would
before in
you
my life.
Adam and Eve it? Answer me, Saba.
I don't even know what that means.
So,
Could you believe it?
Yeah. I believe that's
Basically.
actually... Yeah, because I was like, I don't know if Grant's like getting the same reference that I am or has like the same point of reference as I do, but I mentioned it yesterday, but I'm just thinking of like Snatch and Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, where a bunch of characters have thick Cockney accents, and characters will just like... It'll sound like something, so like the word believe, right? And then on the fly, they'll be like, all right, what sounds like believe? Adam and Eve. And you just have to know what they're fucking talking about, because fuck you.
I'm so glad you guys are here to educate me, because clearly I know nothing.
This is sparking something. I remember I saw an interview with Idris Elba. He explained this. It's called Cockney rhyming slang, and there's like a whole system about it.
There you go.
You can look it up and see some keywords.
So then, all I do was listen. I was waiting to jump out of there as soon as I heard him leave, see?
I'm so sorry, Sana.
It's okay, this is good practice, but I'm not that good.
Is
I
it?
keep slipping out of...
Is this good practice? Is chopping meat good practice? And by meat, I mean your fucking vocal cords.
The butcher thing, I'm not chopping up my vocal cords. It's not that bad on me if you're thinking about it
They
in that
put
way.
Cockney rhyming slang in an ATM.
But would it? No, likely. Even though we stopped here and there, I never heard the door open. So I just had to stay put and listen to I'm driving pigs to market, snoring like an old dog he was.
Here's a table that may help me, hopefully, a little bit.
Holy shit.
A table.
Apples means stairs? Oh,
Yeah, apparently.
God. Lord, help me.
Are there any conclusions we can draw from that?
I'm sorry, what did she just say?
I
Or
don't
was
even know what
just
she
saying the
fucking
line?
said.
Yeah.
So what she was saying was that normally she would
Use the
peek out.
chart.
Normally she would peek out
chart.
from underneath the cubby thing to like look at people to see if she could pickpocket anyone while she was riding. That's what she says she normally does. But then this guy sat on top of her, and so she was straining to listen the entire time, and that's it.
I'm driving. What does this line mean? Listen to I'm driving.
To say I was listening to I'm driving.
Listen to him.
His pigs to market, snoring like a dog he was.
Okay, the last part I get. It's the put and listen to I'm driving is.
So
pigs.
the I'm
That's-
it's him driving.
It's him driving.
I just had to put up to listen to him driving.
I just had
His
to stay
pigs
put
to the
and listen
market.
to him driving
Him
his
driving
pigs to
his
market.
pigs.
What the
Yeah.
fuck does
Driving
driving his
his
pigs to
pigs-
market mean?
I guess
snoring.
it
Talking
just
about
means
the
cart was going. Yeah, like all she could was listen to like the cart moving and someone snoring. I guess
What a
we could technically
weird
say no, we could say
This
that
is the
she-
How did
mechanic
this
that
translate to a Japanese game?
Hold on, I want to just say we can like question the fact that like she doesn't know who was snoring.
Well, to be fair, she did say that she saw the guy get on. So that's true. She doesn't know who was snoring.
Especially since she couldn't get, especially since he sat down through all the stops, so she doesn't know who was snoring. But I don't know about it not adding up.
I don't
because,
know.
once
I don't
again-
know. Well, because it didn't make sense. We
Okay,
just
what's
abandoned
happening
this, so it
here?
has to be it doesn't add up. Right? Because if it makes sense, we just drop it. Once again, the Ace Attorney thing, because I don't fucking know what the hell's happening. Miss Lestrade, what you just told the court, it's very
bullshit.
confusing.
I don't even know
Please,
the facts anymore.
English.
What?
What's happening?
Wow, are you sure, man?
Absolutely. I know exactly what we're talking about.
It's funny. We're going through this game.
Oh!
Because we're
We
only
were right.
choosing answers because we're going through. We know that this is a game and this is the route we should be going, but we really honestly don't have no idea why. Which
Seems my learned Nipponese friend is not as dull-witted as I feared.
no, we're pretty dull-witted. None
You
of us
must
know
have
what's
quickly
happening.
accustomed to Cockney rhyming slang in the few moments you've been.
So Van
It's almost
Zeeks
as if
realized
we have a
it too.
chart.
Realized what? I want to know what's happening.
Susano just suddenly slides that chart over like, maybe this will help. In my book.
Yeah, look at my book.
Counsel, I must insist that you bolster your claim with evidence. Or some complicit party's name at the very least.
Yes,
I need
my
an
lord.
explain video for this. I don't know what's happening.
I expect you to demonstrate this alleged contradiction to the
Well,
court.
good luck, Zach.
According to Miss Lestrade, while she was hiding in the omnibus that night, she heard nothing but the sound of Mr. McGilded snoring. but think. Was someone else making noise? There's something else she should have heard.
Was the guy chewing on his cane fair play?
No. The fact that they're saying that a person could do it too means that I think it must be part of this. It must be a person. Because this is the only time that so far where they've been like, or a person. You don't know.
It was him. The sound of him going, I've been stabbed.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what I'm
Just
saying. Like, she
that
should have
move.
heard that. She should have heard him getting stabbed or something.
I don't know. Stabbing can be silent, I guess.
Oh, she should have heard them knocking on the window. Because remember, these two were knocking on the window to try and get into the cab, but then whoever was inside shooed them away.
I'm so glad you remember this happening because I don't
forgot
recall.
that detail.
I
don't remember.
have literally no idea how to convey this to the video game.
Use
One
them
of
as
them.
evidence.
Do I just present this?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what else you're gonna do.
Could be.
Because that was part of both of their tests. I'm just double checking because it's like I'm thinking about it, and that's the only thing I can think of besides like the dude getting stabbed was them knocking on the window to be like, "Hey, let me in." So I'll do that. I'll say show a person. We'll see if this works.
I'll be right.
Very well, my lord. Allow me to elaborate. On a particular sound that Miss Lestrade could not have failed to hear on the night in question. The sound very
boy.
clearly explained by the presence of the following person. I'm gonna say him.
He looks like
I
a
think
knocker.
either
The
one
music
should
didn't
work,
stop
right?
now!
No!
It would seem phantoms are at work again. That was incorrect. Take this, bitch. This time in my Nipponese friend's ears.
Okay,
Damn it.
then could we say technically it should have been the other guy getting into the cabin?
Allow me to drain
The
your
victim
life
getting into the
force.
cabin?
Like
I
because
am now 14 years younger.
McGildy was first, right? So she should have heard the other guy getting in. I don't know. Technically, she should have heard
Oh!
everyone getting on.
No, you're absolutely right. I totally didn't think of that. Because he said he got on first.
Yeah.
Oh.
So you should have heard the victim too.
Well, there you go.
I mean, I don't know if that's correct. I definitely think your thing
No,
also,
perfect.
Zach, makes sense. If that was, like, you
I
know.
mean, it's the same idea. It's just one step below, which what we should have done in the first place.
Show that person.
This guy.
I
Who's
really
that
don't think
person?
this-
And the music cut. So yes, I was right. All right.
Oh my
Well,
God.
listen, my thing works too.
No, your thing made more sense than
I would
Thrice.
laugh so hard if they just like forgot about that detail from like the testimony.
Yeah.
Thrice fired Mason?
Yes, my lord. The sound that Miss Lestrade cannot have failed to hear is that of the victim, Mr. Mason, boarding the omnibus.
Oh, hey, look.
Yeah,
There
because
it
they made it very clear that she got on before anyone was there, and then McGilded was the next person and sat on top of her. So yeah, that makes sense.
Explain your reasoning, counsel.
Grant, you cut out like early, so all I heard was ah. Miss Lestrade, allow me to confirm something. You claimed earlier that you were the first person to board the omnibus. Is that correct? Is this exactly what I just said because Zach can't fucking wait 2 seconds?
Yeah, of course I was. I got on while the driver was in the pub, didn't I?
And the next person to board the omnibus was Mr. McGilded. That it was. Not a soul was in the cabin when I climbed aboard. At least, not in plain sight. So you were, to all intents and purposes, alone in the enclosed cabin of the omnibus at that time. Did I not just say as much? I wasn't traveling with anyone else, if that's what you mean. He was riding on my shoulders.
Yeah, I saw him get on, remember? Through the crack under the seat cushion. He was on his own for sure.
And
little French
from what
there.
we've heard, the carriage made a number of stops after that on its onward journey, during which time, did you not hear the door opening or closing at all?
Nah, I never heard it.
Would you hold up? Just remember how the skylight has a thing, has like a little latch. Could you imagine if Thrice Fried Mason was actually sitting on top, got stabbed by
Yeah,
either
he
fair
got in
play,
first.
and then got lowered in while he was sleeping?
Or maybe, I don't know, someone did come from the top and switched seating positions. Like, maybe McGill did actually do it. But I was thinking the same thing about the Mason guy got in first, actually. But she said she saw him, right?
Yes.
That's exactly what I was listening for, wasn't it? Waiting for this swell to leave.
In which case, when and how did the victim end up in the carriage?
Oh,
Oh!
oh, I was asleep.
We know that the victim collapsed inside the enclosed cabin of the omnibus. Therefore, Miss Lestrade's statement about what she did or did not hear is at odds with the facts
And logic.
and logic.
Yes, this petty thief's statement was clearly flawed.
Lord Van Zeeks.
Yes, he knew all too well that there was an inconsistency with Miss Lestrade's statement.
Keck! It would seem words of thanks are in order for my learned friend. Top
What are
Keck.
you talking about?
Have this Reddit gold. You have demonstrated matters impeccably.
Edit. Thanks, kind stranger.
Edit, thanks, kind stranger.
This, well, no, it's not me. It's not me. Even though it's looking at me, it's not me. Thank God.
I thought it was you too.
Oh, look where I
It's
stopped.
Van Zee.
Oh, the witness and her colorful statements are entirely unreliable. Her words are convenient untruths, nothing more.
It looks like eyes.
It's Kermit.
Did you say?
Oh no.
Someone say Kermit?
Kermit. Oh, she's ready.
Oh,
No!
Oh my god.
Old lady, no!
No.
why is she switching all of a sudden?
We're about to find out.
Fuck children. They suck.
Jesus.
I hate children!
I didn't want to judge the dear little mite just because she had some rather naughty ways. But I must say,
I hate liars.
I
Oh.
can't abide liars.
She said that last time too, so I'm actually kind of glad that it's character consistency.
I mean, technically, is she lying? She's just unreliable because she couldn't see anything.
Well, she must be lying, or for whatever reason couldn't hear the guy getting in. Right? That's what we're implying. So she must either be lying, or this is an Ace Attorney game and some bullshit happened. God, could you imagine if this case like introduced aliens, like with teleporter technology? Just like, no.
It was an alien the whole time, Your Honor. Guilty.
Mr. Foreman?
I didn't want to judge the girl just because she has some less than salubrious ways. I vaguely remember that word. But I must say, I cannot abide liars. And that's an original statement by me that I made and no one else ever said
So
before.
there's only one juror left, or is there two? Oh, there's two, because the cab guy as well.
Yeah,
Mr. Naruto, that's 5 jury members leaning towards guilty.
Never
that's
mind.
5.
Math. I did the arithmetic 3 times.
I was gonna say, I've done the arithmetic in my head 14 times, and every single time I count out 5. Well, your consideration for others is refreshing, my Nipponese friend. To the considerable troubles you have spared me.
Stop drinking. You're gonna be fucking sloshed. Like halfway through this.
Did someone say slosh? Yeah. Yes, very refreshing. Reminds me of a cowboy I once saw who had similar drinking habits.
Yeah! What are you playing at? Have you forgotten who you're working for? You useless Eastern Amadan?
Christ. Okay, what's this?
I am worried about what I
Not
just
gonna
said.
be good.
We spent more time googling.
Knife.
Amadan, genitive singular, Amadane, plural, Amadane, derogatory fool, loony idiot, based on a fairy fool in a trickster in Irish folklore.
All right, so at least it's
okay.
not a
Culturally?
racial derogatory term.
It kind of is, but just not in the offensive way. It's just a cultural thing, I guess. From
No.
Irish.
Juror,
Lawrence, I'm
juror number
sorry.
2 is the only one left.
This
You know
knife
what's
is
super
good.
weird? It's like the person who has to change like their opinion last is like different now as well. So it's like the maid instead, which I think is interesting.
It was Lawrence's first line in like 20 minutes.
I thought he said it. I heard
No,
Lawrence. I heard Lawrence do
like,
his silly voice.
Yes, this knife tastes
He just said, the knife.
That's basically what the guy said. Come on.
That's not.
Oh my god.
It's basically what he said.
It is not.
Okay, well skip your line here too, because you skipped mine. All right.
Back's on fire today. Because
Listen.
we're lighting him up and roasting him.
I very much wanted to believe the words of one of London's most respected gentlemen, but those of us in service know we must accept hard truths.
Never mind. She's quickly changing her opinion.
Hold it!
Yep. Oh, we're saying
Oh,
hold
thank God we
Everybody
say
stop!
something.
Wait for it.
Yes,
Please
the witness's
don't do
last
it.
statement seemed to have revealed a critical inconsistency in her story. However, if we consider the possibility that her statement is in fact the truth, it may shed an entire new light on this whole case.
What are you saying?
What the fuck?
Dude, I
What is
really
a
want there
defense
to be
attorney?
like an expensive steak dinner in front of him. Like, oh,
He just
Something
adds
like there
more and
and
more
wine.
stuff from a restaurant.
Yeah.
He gets his own waiter, and that's his counsel.
No, he gets a waiter.
Yeah.
He gets a waiter, and it's the detect or the inspector.
Oh my God.
It's like, oh hi, counsel. I'm sorry, sir. Whatever do you mean?
Counsel, I will not tolerate you attempting to prorogue
Rogue, because that's a word.
prorogue my adjudication. Explain
Prorogue.
yourself at once.
Discontinue a session of a parliament or otherwise legislative activity without dissolving it.
There's so many words.
So you're
I'm learning.
delaying an official procedure. So just say prolong. It's so weird.
No. With this olden time.
We must
the
add this to the list.
These fucking I can see why they didn't translate for so long. These translators had to fucking work overtime just to look at the sources.
No kidding.
When the accused boarded the omnibus on the night in question, the victim was nowhere to be seen.
Wait, okay, so Adrian, you bring up a good point, right? Where it's like, man, I can see why this didn't get translated for a while. What the fuck did this read like in Japanese?
Probably just like really archaic Japanese or like different prefectures, like because they have different ways of
Ah.
speaking.
What about the heavy Cockney Gina Lestrade? How do you do
Well, I mean,
that?
I know that Japan
That was
has a
English.
rough equivalence when they want to denote that someone is like a hick or southern. There's like different prefectures in Japan they can use that have certain speaking styles that do do So probably
That
something
was
like
just
that.
straight up English. They wrote
No, it was
that
just
in-
English. They just put it didn't need to be translated. It just needed to be ported over.
Mhm.
Subsequently, the carriage door was not heard opening a single time, as testified by the witness in the stand.
And yet the victim's body was found inside the carriage.
If this petty thief's words are
This
to be
pretty-
believed.
This pretty thief, Van Zeek, she's 15. This is ancient England, it's fine.
No,
Oh no!
No.
oh yeah, I just
I'm
recalled.
15 million years old. How do you explain the
I'm glad
victim's
Lawrence
mora-
got that one instead of me. Every time it's me going, what? But that was Lawrence. That was so good.
Oh, it was Grant.
Oh, was it
How
Grant?
do you
It was definitely Grant.
Oh, my bad. Sorry. I thought I saw
I
Lawrence's
was too
thing
busy
flash.
laughing to go, what?
How do you explain the victim's miraculous appearance inside the cabin of the omnibus?
Miraculous?
Ladybug. I love that show.
I don't
It's
love
got
that.
so much interesting things happening in it at all times.
I must
I
say, we
just
also
wondered.
haven't talked about the extra blood yet in the scene with the bus. Not that, we have it as evidence or anything, but
Because Ryunosuke's too stupid to realize it wasn't there originally.
Zach's
Is
dead.
Zach muted?
No, Zach, you're muted.
Fuck. The only explanation is that the victim entered the enclosed
No.
cabin some other way.
guys, we should have just made it appear that he was still speaking. Or
We'll dub over him.
Yeah, the longest prank.
I wondered what new fantasy you would come up with in your blind panic. Some final fantasy as you cling desperately. But
That
behold,
was in the courtroom.
the omnibus is here for all to see. Behold, only one side of the enclosed cabin is furnished with a door. The other only has windows. Fixed windows which cannot possibly open. In short,
the top.
there is no entrance to the cabin.
We're like 50 reasonings
Come
ahead
on,
of
Ryunosuke,
this.
please, please.
But there's one possibility you haven't considered.
From
Oh,
underneath.
really? This seems like something I definitely should have picked up on, being decently competent.
Yes, one other way inside that isn't the door. Another opening, the use of which allowed the victim to appear inside the enclosed cabin.
I feel like we can
All right,
steamroll through
counsel.
this section at least.
The defense will identify the location for the court. Here is the omnibus on which the incident
God.
occurred. Where in God's name could it possibly be?
Did he make an entirely new picture for this?
Yeah.
No, this is the same as before, just without the people in it.
Right, but we drew over it theoretically last time.
So this is an entirely new picture of the omnibus.
He
which I
photocopied
think
it.
in
All
5
right.
minutes.
So everybody
Photocopied it.
knows that the victim could have came in through the horses.
Correct.
Yes.
The horses vored them, and then there's a tube from the horse's butthole that leads directly into the cabin. Everyone knows this.
Oh, everything hurts.
The answer is obvious.
Everything hurts.
It can only have been the skylight.
I say the skylight.
You
The
did
fuck
say
is
that.
Forgot about it.
look at Satoru or whatever her name is.
Satoru?
What's her name? What is it?
Susato!
Susato, right? Yeah, Susato. Yeah.
Your ludicrous proposal almost has me at a loss for words. However,
Shut
They're
up!
getting married.
The skylight may have been large enough for someone to pass through.
so you claim. But do you have a shred of evidence to support your addle-brained theory?
There's a
There's
latch
a
on it.
handle.
You
Yeah, there's
fucking
a-
idiot! What are you talking
You
about?
can just walk over and do it yourself.
Haven't you looked at the bus, sir? There's.
I really should have noticed this
Yeah.
earlier, but I can't believe that this is a thing we have to point out.
Well, you see, Adrian, we have the uncanny ability to fly through the air while investigating evidence, whereas he has to physically walk around. So he didn't want to walk up, you know?
Well, no, in order to fly, it's turned into bats first.
Oh, yeah.
To fly by the seat of our pants.
Oh, hello, Mikey. Welcome to stream. Since when did you have a VOD archive channel? I could have been watching the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon VODs if I passed out this whole time. Yeah, Mikey, the VODs have been there for a long while. Yeah, they're all there for you.
Zach's main YouTube actually has a link if you go to channels.
That's
So
true.
it
That's true.
has been there.
Yeah. Obo Token Archives.
But now you know, and now you can enjoy.
And now you can enjoy great classic jokes such as Me Million Statue. They claim to have heard a loud thud, which would, such as the noise made by someone falling to the floor.
I know a
Someone
thing or two
summoning to
about
the floor.
summoning.
Yes, which has already been explained. as the sound of the victim falling from the seat having been insulted with the dagger.
Insulted or assaulted?
Insulted and...
The dagger was so ugly. He hated it.
Yo, dagger, so ugly.
I can't believe this is the thing that's killing me.
I love the idea of you getting stabbed by like an ornate dagger, and when you look down, it just says "You're ugly," like just engraved on the
You
side.
ugly. Damn it.
Yes, it has, but would a man slipping from the seat onto the floor really have made such a loud noise as the witnesses describe? A little noise loud enough to cause Miss Lestrade to let out an involuntary cry, in fact?
Someone dropping from the roof.
Good gracious.
Body slammed.
There was a dagger that was so ugly that everyone died. The end. Thank you, Patrick. Perhaps, in fact, that was the moment the victim made his entrance into the cabin. No. Let me rephrase that. The victim didn't enter the cabin as such. He fell into it.
He was
Your
a
Body slam.
Now suggesting that the victim fell from the skylight into the cabin. Excuse me, that wine was carbonated. That's simply impossible.
sparkling wine.
Can you be so sure?
No. Because if the victim had fallen through the skylight, as you say, the passengers on the roof would have seen it happen. There's no way that they've conspired a whole 2 people to murder someone, and yet not one person made mention of such events in their testimony.
Oh, what does this say? It's a red message. Also, when are you gonna make an actual Twitter? Whenever I search Obotoken, it's Zach's personal Twitter, which is dead as hell. True. I should really get on that, huh?
Discord.
I will manage it. I'll make
You
Zach say
will
permitted
definitely
things.
not manage my thing. Although I think it was Mikey that made the suggestion to have the Twitter handle be Obotoken TV, right? That's a-
Was it him?
that was a
I
good
remember that
idea.
idea.
I
That was
don't
a good
remember.
idea. I think I might do that. Separate the art from the artist, as you might say. Well, yes, that's true, but I have cast
he
a
stopped the
stupor
music.
spell on all of you. Might a humble fella have a wee comment here, or make a wee comment here? Mr. McGilded. You're high off your rocker. To be sure now, 2 fellows who were sat on the roof that testified afore said nothing of the victim falling to the skylight. But it seems to me, my lord, that 'tis not such a case of them not saying, but... Aye. It's a case of them being unable to say. What?
I'm so confused.
I think perhaps the 2 fellas are the murderers. Do be having something of a compelling reason not to mention what happened. Wouldn't yous agree, fine ladies and gentlemen of the jury?
I forgot I was here.
Are all the members of the jury also being coerced into giving a guilty verdict? Is that why several? Because this guy kept
Murder
mentioning.
on the Orient Express.
Well, because this guy mentioned multiple times the fact that he received a letter that told him what to do. We just glossed over that, by the way.
Indeed, we did.
Oh, what does Mikey say? I mean, I was thinking that since I didn't know if Obotoken was a placeholder or not. I about to say, I was thinking about converting my personal Twitter into, a professional Twitter, but I like a bunch of, fake mon garbage on my regular Twitter, and I don't want to subject any future fans to that without their permission. So, question, is the Ace Attorney anime a good way to get into the series? I don't like playing the actual games, but the series still interests me. The anime itself is pretty lackluster, if I recall. How would you get into the series if you don't like the actual games? I mean, there's a ton of There's a ton of
It was like
fan fiction.
easy picking fruit for you to go. You could watch the stream.
No, I'm not gonna. I mean, those VODs are theoretically up on the VOD thing, but that's obviously like dozens of hours of content. So I don't necessarily want to subject you to that. But there are definitely like tons of playlists that you can find of people who edited their playthroughs of Ace Attorney 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I'm planning on doing that eventually, but as you can tell by the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon video that's not coming out for like 5 years, it takes a long time to sift through all that footage. So in terms of actually getting into the series, I would not recommend the anime, because the anime kind of it loses a lot of the charm that the games have. So I would highly recommend finding a playlist online with good editing that cuts out a lot of the garbage. So all of Ace Attorney 2.
I will say that if there's one good thing coming out of anime, it's the blooper reels you can find on YouTube.
I've been getting into the blooper reels like the past week.
They're super good.
It's so funny.
Hearing Phoenix Wright say fuck over and over is pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh,
Are we powering through this part?
No, I just wanted to skip that just because it took me a while to talk to Mikey.
I think I'm
You
legitimately
two! It was
dumbfounded about what's
you!
happening. Yeah.
What exactly are you insinuating here, you blitherer? I killed Sal, and no one can argue that. Oh my god!
What is happening?
He's so mad!
Riding a horse?
He's hot and mad!
you rotter, he said, you rotter, what are you insinuating? I'll fight you.
There's a flaming outrage. I have a good right to give you a blinker in a minute.
A flaming outrage is the nickname for fuck, what's the name of that guy? Little Nas. Little Nas X.
Jesus.
Flaming outrage.
He'll give you a shiner in a minute, he said, so will I.
What a weird fucking animation. Mr. Fairplay.
You're effectively accusing me. A city gentleman and well-respected banker.
I mean, you already lied, sir. I think we, you know.
And me, a very angry hatter.
Bad Hatter.
That doesn't even. That's not even like defensing him at all. Suggesting that someone like me could have stabbed them out of the guts. It's a disgrace. It's scandalous. It's. I killed Sal.
What is he hiding under his
I'm glad you
hat?
remembered his gimmick.
I said it earlier. I protest. I'm protesting the strongest possible terms. Dynamite kick.
Wait,
Oh, look at him!
He's still here.
Oh, is he preparing to box the guy? Is that what he's doing?
I think so.
What a stand.
No, he's
Christ.
twerking Mr. Fairplay.
Oh, look! His leg is going through Fairplay's hand!
Oh my god. He's so handsy. That's right, I protest too.
There
About
is-
you rotten scoundrel.
There's not a big enough witness stand in the world for this.
No, there isn't.
What the fuck is happening? This
My
is not the
court.
time, witnesses.
All right, what did
My
Mikey say?
courts, my beautiful British court,
My
where things
beautiful
were just
court.
normal.
Oh, I'm in a
so
server with somebody who's who's a starting video editor, but I didn't want to overload them with like 4-hour to 6-hour footage. So I've been trying to find you guys an editor on my end as a way to help the channel.
Ooh.
That's extremely nice of you, Mikey. Obviously, any assistance would be greatly appreciated, since editing these videos is pretty much the only way that people would actually watch them. But yeah, I agree with you when you say that 4 to 6 hours of footage is kind of a lot to sift through. So, yeah.
Mikey be really
Mikey's so
hardcore watching
generous.
these videos.
Mikey,
really nice.
Mikey just wants the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Sky bots to come out. Hey, boom, gone. Like, I got what I came for. Quick. he has a sack over his shoulder, but instead of like a dollar sign on it, it's like Eevee with a bunch of rocks just leaving. Anyway,
It's all a ruse.
it was a ruse.
I will not permit this wanton invasion of the stand. Return to the anteroom at once.
But this is beyond reasonable, Lord. It's outrageous. I can't stand the anteroom. There's too much antimatter.
It's very hurtful, you know.
My lord, if I may comment. If I may come.
No.
Damn it. My lord, I've been edging, but never. It was the defense.
You must be like Sting.
Oh, I was just about to make a Sting joke.
My lord, it's not November, please. It was the defense side of this witness. My learned friend has seen fit to abandon all protocol and accuse the witness without proof.
Accuse? I never intended to.
It seems, young Nipponese, that your command of the English tongue is wanting, despite the fact that you, along with the rest of this fucking corps, have been using like 19th grade vocabulary words. You propose to this court that the victim fell through the skylight from the roof deck of the omnibus. That hypothesis cannot possibly stand without the rooftop passengers being aware of the events. You have branded these gentlemen liars. You have intimated their criminal guilt. In our British courts of law, this is what is termed as a baseless accusation. I'm sure that term won't be thrown around frequently in the future.
I know I was rash to put the idea forward without any actual evidence, but you can't just dismiss it without a second thought.
What are we wasting time for? Get them to testify.
Good point.
I thought there was something fishy about that from the moment I saw that fellow. It's making me anxious.
It's making me anxious.
Well, it doesn't matter for now, one way or another.
If there's filth and rubbish in our midst, we must dispose of it at once.
Oh my god!
Oh, unique audio.
Chanting.
What's happening, Mr. Naruto?
The entire fucking auditorium is getting fucking hype.
They're pogging out of their mind.
Like he says, in other news, I just pre-ordered Brilliant Diamond from Amazon since Pokemon Presents made me want it as soon as possible. Yeah, I forgot pre-orders are up. I forgot about that.
Hell yeah.
I should
That
probably
will not
do
buy
that
games.
relatively soon.
I
Oh,
like pearls.
I didn't think you'd be getting that game.
Oh, Brilliant Diamond? Absolutely. I'm gonna pog out of my mind for Gen 4, but Legends Arceus, I'm probably gonna skip.
I gotta play it on stream.
Ooh, Legends Arceus, I want to see more.
We talked about this before. Brilliant
Yeah, the
Diamond is
Nuzlocke
gonna be
attempt.
my first Nuzlocke, where it's gonna
Oh,
be
yeah.
water. It's gonna be water only
That I
Nuzlocke.
remember.
Is it going to be a casual Nuzlocke or a hardcore Nuzlocke, as they say?
I'm gonna kind of pick and choose the rules that I wanna participate in. But you know, we'll
Zach,
figure
if
that
you
out.
if you did only like a fire type Nuzlocke for the most part, I think your entire team
be screwed.
would be made of
It'd be
ponitas.
two Pokemon.
It'd just be like two Pokemon.
Well, are there
hilarious.
really only in all of Gen 4? Are there really only two that end up with fire types?
In Platinum and in Pearl and Diamond, there's only two, but in Platinum, there's a couple more.
Oh, okay. But yeah, that's still the intention, is to, when that
well-
comes out, I'm gonna do my first Nuzlocke, because, I don't know. I don't remember the games being that long. How bad could it be?
Well,
Forever.
it's not necessarily how long it is. It's the Cynthia fight and the difficulty of it.
Oh,
general,
it's
yeah.
easy. Garchomp is like ground something. It's water. It's fine.
Ground water?
No, I'm
you
saying
thinking of Quagsire, sir?
I'm saying it's ground, and
Quagsire.
I'm saying it's ground, and my team will have water, so it'll be fine.
That's
Quagsire.
the other type does not.
Yep, it's just super funny because Ponyta is like my favorite Pokemon, so it being like the only other type, like fire type, I'm like, yeah, it's chill.
Grant's top with the Quagsire. The spectators in the public gallery they're in a complete frenzy.
They're pogging.
They're pogging out of their mind.
Mr. Fairplay and Mr. First.
You drew. Wait, is that old? Because if that's old,
that's
I
old.
would have said the exact same thing before. Of like, I hate that you actually drew what my glasses look like, where the frame is only on
That
top.
sounds familiar. Yeah.
That's
Yeah, it
so-
was when we were doing the government assigned Pokemon.
It was when I made your fucking profile picture.
Oh,
exactly.
yeah.
We both drew at the same time to convince you of which one's more like Zach, and that was Grant's entry.
Uh,
My lord.
You will take the stand again and make another formal testimony.
Shoot yourself with a arrow.
Here's an arrow in reference to the indictment brought by the defense.
Yes, my lord.
So nervous.
I killed Cell.
I just need to make sure all of you understand that I killed Cell.
It was,
I
it
didn't
was
come here for this.
safe and fair play.
There's no time to think this through. All I can do is keep pushing forward. Exactly. Just like an Ace Attorney protag. Just don't think about it.
We were the only two people up on the roof dead or alive. I could swear to that. Just like I could swear I killed Cell.
If anything happened to them, we were sitting. Don't you think one or the other of us would have noticed?
In any case, neither of us know the first thing about the victim. We had no reason to kill the man.
Yeah, the skylight was shut the entire time. I tell you, we couldn't have possibly opened it.
If you're so sure the victim fell through skylight, where's proof?
The newfound
blood.
blood stain?
Yeah.
Dynamite kick.
But
Dynamite
it's
kiss.
new. But that's the thing, Saba, is that it's new blood. It wasn't there before.
Was there something covering the floor before?
I don't remember. I'm wondering.
think
I'm
so.
wondering if there,
Yeah.
because remember the
It's
thing
tough.
opens with a latch, right, and it like swings open. I'm wondering if maybe there was like blood caught in the skylight, and so when someone opened it, it just fell out for some reason.
It's a lot of blood, though.
Hmm.
I'm not.
It is a lot of blood.
I
Not
don't
gonna
know.
lie.
How either witness could have performed any malevolent act on this rooftop deck without the other noticing forthwith.
One day there needs to be a video on the channel which is a parody of an Ace Attorney case, but it's Dawn the Eevee on trial for eating the city's rocks. That's not bad.
Is that a thing that we established that happens?
No, but it's just like
About to
it's
be.
just the
No, no.
Eevee like having an obsession with the rocks. But I
Yeah,
really
that's
do
the
like the
you're right.
idea of Eevee swallowing like a thunderstone without transforming into a Joltik. Joltik, sorry, Jolteon. Jolteon.
Turns into a spider.
So,
All right, everybody, shut up! You don't need to jump down my throat.
No.
like you wouldn't jump down our throats.
I've never jumped down anybody's throat
The evidence was a rock. Yes, maybe. So, go.
without the other noticing forthwith. Okay, good.
That's right, you see.
We're innocent, I tell you.
Although logically, of course, the argument falls down if the two of you were in collusion with one another.
What?
I'm glad that she brought that up.
Eh?
According to investigations by Scotland Yard,
Dude, Zach, what if, like, everything that we theorize is correct?
There's
the two
aliens?
witnesses share no common dealings.
Purple killed Soul?
Fairly killed so.
Ha, I don't trust coppers any more than I trust a stinking rich.
Something doesn't feel
I
right
don't
here.
trust coppers, nor silver, nor gold.
Two copper pieces. Anyway, this trial is going in our favor, really. So why does it feel so, or why do I feel so uneasy?
Counsel, for the defense, over to you. Your cross-examination, please.
Yes, my lord.
Why does
Yeah, I
everyone
don't.
call
I
me?
still kind of don't know what's happening, but I think him falling in makes more sense now.
Well, because we don't have evidence. Like it's not a piece of evidence that we actually have the ability to present. The fact that there's a latch here, you know?
Or
We already
can
established that, though.
Did we? When?
We just established that there was a latch earlier when he put up the diagram.
No. We didn't say anything about a latch. We just said that the other entrance was the skylight. We have not talked about the latch to the point where Van Zeeks even said it's impossible to open.
Did he? I don't remember that.
Something
maybe
along
we
those
can
lines.
like add, it later, but it's like I don't. How are we gonna refute what they're talking about right now?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's like pressing, obviously, again, but let's see. For two people on that deck, dead or alive, I can swear to that. I mean, I believe them. If anything had happened, we were sitting. Wouldn't you think the other of us would have noticed? Is there a way for either of them to not have noticed? Not really.
It had
right?
already happened. Not. I don't-
That's true.
No, that
'cause
that doesn't make any sense though, because the thud. When the thud happened, I think they were there.
That's true because then ladies first screamed right from the roof, so they were there. Anyway, oh yeah, because they looked down and they saw the person with the blood all over their hands. So that was when she was sitting there being interrogated by him. Anyway, I don't know. In any case, neither of us know the first thing about the victim. We had no reason to kill the man. I don't believe that. Because you also, like, the both of you were debtors to Mr. McGilded.
Both of them? I thought it was only fair play.
Here, let me show you. People who apparently owed the defendant a considerable sum of money.
Oh, were you asking about first?
That was, yeah, I was talking about first.
Oh, no, sorry, I meant these two. Because Bruce Fairplay just said that they didn't know anything about the victim, and I was like, I don't know, do you not? You're both debtors. Maybe you did.
Okay, I thought you meant both the witnesses, but yeah.
Nah, I was about to say I don't think this person has anything to do with this so far. Besides the fact that I think that it's still like a lady in disguise. All I know about Ace Attorney is that people on Twitter always tweet about how Phoenix, Wright, and Miles Edgeworth are a gay couple, because they are.
They are.
Absolutely, 100%.
I'm
Very
about to say
into each
it's. You should check out some playthroughs. you'll see that there is no question that they are not.
Just game one, like just game one is enough.
Exactly, just game one, where especially at the end when like especially at the end when Edgeworth is like thanking you for helping him, and it's like
it just
yeah?
builds more and more as the series went on.
Oh, yeah, yes or no.
Oh, we can get responses from everybody. So we should be
Yeah,
pressing.
learn it now.
So we should be pressing everything. Okay. Let's power through this a little bit.
He'd never met the man before? He said something.
That's right, sir. That does not have much to do with brickmakers, to be perfectly honest, sir.
Okay.
Is that true?
Sir.
That's not true. Yeah, there you go.
Well, now.
I don't have the remotest connection. Well, you both owe me money. So fuck you. Mr. McGilded.
Yes,
Yes,
Counsel. Oh wait. I'm so excited that you found something.
It's yours. Take it.
Fine. Yes, Counsel. What can we do it for you?
There you go. It's really good.
I watch a lot of Oni, and he's Irish.
Yeah, but he also sounds like a wet bag.
Sometimes he becomes Irish again.
Sometimes
Do you-
he's Irish.
You mean like if you rewatch that Lord of the Rings game
Yeah,
over and over?
exactly. He did the entire thing. Anyway.
Did the witness's last statement give you pause or for something? Yeah.
Not the most connection.
The thing, you know.
Is that right now? I wonder.
You know, one thing I should. Please excuse me
Excuse
for a
me for a
moment.
second. What are you insinuating now?
Adrian's just talking to himself.
Mr. Fairplay, 'tis been too long, it has. If I'm not very much mistaken, I believe this fast approaching is not your repayment debt. Beg your pardon. You borrowed 20 guineas from me, sir. At an unconscionable rate of interest. You tricked me. It's extortion. It's legal. Well now, is it a touch of begrudgery, is it? The sort of begrudgery that might motivate a fellow to pass his crimes off to another.
Mr. Fairplay, come on!
And young Mr. First.
Oh, me, sir? What do you want with me, sir?
Oh god, could you imagine if they did have a connection and the connection was that Ladies First made his shitty hat?
Aw.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
Oh.
Oh!
Oh. Wait for it.
You do making hats for a living, do you not? That there top hat slide about your head, is that one of your own creations, is it?
Oh, well, it's just an apprentice, you understand? I'm still
Oh, that explains it.
trying to find the perfect fit for whatever fine gent walks through the door.
Spiking my anxiety again.
The perfect fit, is it? Well, 'tis a very distinctive design, it is.
I would.
Look at the stitching of the hat. Quickly, Zach, pull up the picture again.
Yes, ma'am.
Photoshop McGilded's hat onto first, and Photoshop first hat onto McGilded.
There you go. I see it. The stitching is different, but they're kind of similar.
It's similar enough of style.
Similar-ish.
If I existed in this courtroom for real, even if I was just in the audience, hours ago in this case, I would have leapt into the actual like court proper and fucking chucked this guy at, or not the guy, sorry, his hat at the wall. Yeah, chucked him. No, chucked his hat at the wall and been like, stop. I'm holding up a big ass clock and I'm like, it's time to stop.
Many customers like it, I tell you. They like a distinctive touch.
Customers, such as thrice fried Mason.
That's so stupid.
There was a photographic print of the victim submitted as evidence, my lord.
Sorry, this, you mean? I sat there, I was like, why isn't anyone speaking? Like, I was looking at the judge and I was like, who voiced? Oh wait, it was me.
I can't help thinking that the four-paneled hat looks distinctly familiar, wouldn't you say?
Oh.
That's so weird though, that it's not even like the same hat, it's just a shitty hat.
It's close enough. That's the only thing that matters.
That's one of my hats.
Hey, that it is. So it just seemed the brickmaker was a customer of yours. The sort of customer I'd wager you could have had a quarrel with over distinctiveness of the goods.
Oh no, sir, absolutely not, sir.
Well, there's really nothing more to add. Wouldn't be right to say that the two fellows here haven't their motives connection to the victim, you see.
It's just silly, and I know that this hike happens just in narratives in general, but like the notion that out of a city of like almost 100,000 people, all of these people are like dramatically interwoven with each other is fucking ridiculous.
Small world, small world.
Small.
Very small.
I rest my case.
You two are fucked.
You little weasel.
He's better at this than I am.
True.
Gosh, Mr. McGilded has certainly been thorough in his research, hasn't he?
Oh, it does say thorough. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Nice, Zach.
I can't read. You think I can read? I'm emotionally responding to the game. It just so happens that sometimes it makes sense.
You got an award achievement. What's that achievement say?
Hat Hunter.
Nice.
You're kidding.
Nice.
What the
Please
hell
don't
is
let
that?
me
What the hell is that
interrupt
even
the
for?
proceedings. It's for progressing in the game to a certain point normally.
For
hunting
identifying
hat.
the milliner responsible for the victim's hat.
The millennial responsible.
I'm not a millennial.
I'm not a millennial. I won't be a millennial for 5,000 days.
Days.
You call me a millennial. 1,000
Sally
days.
was shut tight, so you couldn't possibly have opened it. Okay, maybe this is what I was thinking of when it said couldn't possibly have opened it. Because that's not true. Are you quite certain about that? The skylight was shut the entire time.
I'm gonna lose my block with you in a minute. Down my kirk.
Adrian. We're just gonna move forward. It's fine.
I'm losing right with you in a minute. That's what he said.
He's my hot man, you see? Take a good look for yourself. Go on.
There's no way in hell that this could have possibly opened.
You see, it shut fast now. It was just like that on the night. So it is, of course. Smell the size of estimation could likely break right through it and still not. What? Just look at the size of the thing, you understand.
Can I ask a question? I guess this is mostly directed at Grant. I guess also Lauren, since I know that both of you eat eggs. When you eat eggs, do you what and then do you then later pass gas that smells like not great?
Out of nowhere.
Sometimes.
I'm asking because I'm concerned.
Sometimes sulfur, you know.
Sulfur.
Sulfur. I'm gonna explode with brimstone. No, I was just asking because, like I said before, I got the new cookbook and I've been trying it out, and like every recipe calls for eggs that I've tried so far, and you know they're all good and delicious and whatnot. But I'm not used to like my fart smelling, and so I was worried.
That's definitely
Okay, because I was worried. Like, am I just like not able to digest the eggs properly? Because my farts never smell. They're just loud.
It may be overconsumption of eggs as well. Like
I mean, it's like 2 eggs a
lot
day.
Of eggs.
It's probably also your body being like, okay, this is a bit different.
What the fuck is this? It's being like, oh.
As brand spanking new.
Where's my mouse? There it is.
There it is.
Gone forever.
Now you hold on there a minute, sir. The size of ting means nothing. Stupid Irish.
I can sell.
No, so I can tell. No, so let's consider the bigger picture here.
Let's stop biting our cane, shall we?
I was riding the omnibus on another occasion when I broke wind loudly. It smelled. I ate a lot of eggs that day.
I can't fucking believe that right after I talked about farting, it came up in the game.
Oh my god.
I did not know. I didn't even plan for this.
Profits.
Profit. Dear. Anyway, he's gonna be like, does this happen?
This is an unexpected confession, Mr. First.
Mr. First, what the fuck's that to do with the case?
What's happening?
Are you okay?
I'm going bananas.
Oh, I just mean to say, well, the point is I tried to open the skylight, you see.
Yeah, but you're a scrawny pulp.
Oh, but just by luck, I couldn't make a judge. Oh, the stench of the eggs was terrible.
I couldn't make it judge.
Everyone's looking daggers at me, sir. I went red as rogue, I did.
Rouge, which is a color.
Yeah, Rouge is a color.
Rouge,
Rouge is
Come
the
on,
bat.
come on, Lawrence, you're an artist too. You should know Rouge.
I know red, and I know variations of red.
And I know.
Rouge is one of them.
No, I mean the term variations of red.
Oh. You know that they exist. Good. At least there's that much.
Dude, my mute unmute has been going wild.
Nice.
Oh, no, sir. The point is,
Okay.
the skylight can't be opened. I tried and tried when I was inside the cabin of shame.
Look at her shaking face.
Smug girl.
She looks like she should be like with 1,000 knives pointing at her. You know the picture
Like
I'm
the
talking
smug
about.
cat.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Oh God, could you imagine an Italian?
No.
Could you imagine Italian? No, but could you imagine an Italian defense attorney where instead of excuse me, it's scusi?
Scusi.
Pussy.
Do you have something to say about that, Miss Lestrade? Miss Lestrade.
It opens.
Hmm?
The skylight. This is what we were talking about, right?
Get down, dude.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh,
Someone
elaborate.
stop her.
All of the skylights open. Dead easy.
more easily than you can load that weapon.
Where is she getting the ammunition? Oh, yeah,
That's a lie. I told you otherwise. When I broke wind, I.
Is she stronger than this fully adult man?
No, because he was
Okay.
doing it from inside to out, whereas she's about to say that you could do it from outside in.
Oh,
And
I was
she's
hoping that she was stronger than this fully adult man, which I would believe.
Probably still.
Probably.
You can't do it from outside, you mug.
Oh.
Look, a few weeks ago I was up on the roof deck on one of all them drags. And I ate a great haul. I mean, I had purses coming out of my ears.
All right, too much information in the court of law.
Miss Lestrade is not the forum to be eulogizing on the subject of your criminal activities.
Did you actually know that word, or did you just spot read that?
I spot read it.
Excellent work.
Thank you.
A gold star for you, sir. Because I was looking
You
at
get
a gold star for
You get
stream.
14 oboe tokens.
Yes. Hey, I look at the analytics after the stream's over, and I know most of you fuckers aren't watching.
Well, anyway, I had a bit of a scare. When I lifted the last bloke's purse, it got wise to me. All four of them surrounded me, so I couldn't top off the bus and leg it. So what I did was I used the skylight, opened the catch and jump right through.
What?
Yeah, the catch from the skylight is on the top side. That's why you can't open them from the cabin.
The skylight opens from the roof deck? Wow!
It's not like
Who
we
would
can
have
see
guessed?
New information.
Bailiff,
Yeah? What you want?
climb up onto that roof of the omnibus at once and verify this witness's claims.
How about you? Alright, yeah, it's fine.
But it's his job. Wait, was he about to protest to doing his job?
Yeah, it's fine. Stop.
Oh.
Look at it, very easily opens!
Oh, my hat!
So he is just a scrawny
fuck
cloak.
these guys. Like, I don't give a shit about these guys because they're idiots. But I'm looking at fucking Ben Sykes and I'm like, you knew about this. I know you did.
I'm rusty. It's been 4 aeons since I practiced law.
Put the gun away.
See?
No, how did anybody see? It's a carriage that hasn't been tilted.
Order, order.
Please.
Please give me your order. Just
Please,
stop.
God.
Just stop talking about nonsense and give me your order.
So, it appears that the street girl's statement is quite true.
Dude, that would be an excellent like joke cosplay, going as the judge from Ace Attorney, but he's wearing like a McDonald's uniform. Order! Order! I don't believe it. The skylight opens, and from the roof deck, who would have guessed?
Mr. Naruto!
Who could have possibly noticed?
This could be the clue we've been looking for.
This is like the fucking bent ass Spike from the first game. Remember when like one of the fence posts was bent and covered in blood or whatever?
Oh,
know what's incredibly
that was a
weird?
later one, wasn't it?
That was like case 3 where it was one of the first things that we noticed, and no matter what we did, we couldn't like investigate it until they brought it up first, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, and on top of that,
Wow.
it's not even just the fact that, you know, it opens. It has to be like the story element that has to go along with it. Like, oh, he fell through the roof first before, you know, establishing that we could open it.
Right.
Like, we have to surmise that.
But it's so weird because it's such an easy thing to identify of just like, yeah, there's a latch.
Yeah, that's why it's kind of bogusly weird.
No one could have possibly entered or exited this building. Ignore the fact that there's a door. It doesn't even have a handle. And then you just walk
and
over
a
it.
broken window.
Well, no, you walk over to the door and you push it, and it's like one of those swinging doors that you see in kitchens, and it's like, did none of you try that? Really? Like,
No, and then before that saying, yeah, he
maybe
was
perhaps I
thrown
should
out.
investigate for myself. What are you talking about? Sure, the victim
Now
fell through the.
then.
Oh, and then this is how I investigate. So that way I can. Is this open now? No. I mean. Okay. Cool. Oh!
Yeah.
I was right.
Epic.
Oh,
There's
wow.
blood.
Bleh.
Are you shitting me?
All right, I gotta get going.
Goodbye,
Goodbye,
Grant.
everyone.
Man, that'd be
Bye.
really terrible if Grant missed the end of this.
I'd be sad.
No. Damn it. Oh, it's still open. Okay. Look, blood. See, I was
Blood.
right. Blood.
I
Blood.
don't say blood, blood, blood. Oh, so he did die up there, and then it opened, and then it fell.
Excuse you. Can I? There's blood. Oh, maybe I have to go inside to look at it.
They're not perceptive enough.
They're kind of stupid.
Some would
Stupid is
say.
not different. Is different from like imperceptive.
That's all I'm gonna say. All right, here we go. Look, just here. Look at that.
Just
It's
here,
a
it
bunch
opens up.
It's a bunch of ketchup.
Look, just here. You can see above the courtroom from here. It's like, that's the only noticeable thing. Thank you, Susato.
Boom. It's been updated.
Oh.
There's a bloodstain visible. So now we have evidence that he went through, which directly contradicts this statement.
Indeed.
Oh, I just had to draw like a really angular hammer, and I want Lawrence to appreciate how much effort this took.
Angular hammer.
Here, well, the hammerhead specifically.
Oh, that looks pretty cool.
And I didn't even do it. I cheated all the perspective. I didn't use a single perspective setup.
You did this by eye?
I did this by eye, yeah.
That's pretty good.
I mean, you can
That's
kind
very
of eye
impressive.
perspective, you know?
But like accurate eye perspective, that's hard.
I mean, isn't it always semi-accurate, technically?
Baba, have you ever drawn a perspective before?
Yeah, I was forced to take perspective in rendering, don't remind me.
Then you know.
It's
Or you should,
painful.
you should know, I should say.
It's utterly painful. That's what I can say.
Indeed. No, you can't. I mean, we didn't tell you. I tell you, promise.
Irrefutable proof here in this courtroom. May I see it?
May I see it?
Counsel,
My lord?
I believe everyone would appreciate a little clarification here. Where exactly within the omnibus is this evidence which you allude? You will point out blah 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 blah.
I'm kind of sick. I'm kind of sick of this part. I'm like, dude, I would have found like me in real life. Like this is like the dissonance that happens a lot in Ace Attorney, but like has happened less frequently in this, where it's just like if I was in this situation, I would have opened that shit an hour ago and been like, dude, there's fucking blood.
Is this the part where you're saying that in banter you have trouble suspending your disbelief? Or is that a different thing?
What was that in reference to? Oh, no. Actually, I guess I could talk about that really briefly, just so that way, mostly... Okay, apparently Grant got blood cursed at some point, and I didn't notice. I should add an edit to this, because the I got problems with suspending my disbelief. It's starting to get to a point, because I was describing to Grant that I was having trouble reading Sherlock Holmes, because I'm having a similar problem with that as I was with Death Note, where Sherlock Holmes will be like, yes, well, you'll notice that the horseshoe prints outside in the muddy road clearly indicate that the horse's shoes were well worn, indicating that it's probably belonged to a carriage. And it's like, okay, that's interesting, except you didn't describe the road at all, you just said it was muddy. That's all they said. So it's the disbelief of you're not being clever, you just didn't tell me any, details. And so last night, or not last night, but the night before, I was watching Django Unchained, which is an excellent movie, by the way. But there's a part where, or there's multiple parts where they're like sniping people with old-timey pre-Civil War rifles, which you'll recall the Civil War, like during the Civil War, is where they invented rifling, which you know is how that worked. So I'm looking at this, and they're like sniping people from like 100 yards away or more, and I'm like, you couldn't do that. and so like, yeah.
Well, you wouldn't know that unless you were like some sort of, I don't know, history buff, I guess, or rifle buff, gun buff.
What about the thing about rifling not being a thing?
Yeah.
Well, because the point of the banter topic is less about, man, isn't this like specific example silly? It's more me confessing that I'm having trouble like enjoying certain media nowadays, because I'm looking at stuff and I'm like, you're not actually a really good driver. You are just a character in this story that I'm being told is a good driver. You know? It's weird. It's like, I feel like, because I rewatched Avatar: The Last Airbender again, and it's like I'm spoiled by that, because it's like they develop their powers and their like skills over time, and I see them develop, so it's like, ah, great. You actually deserve to have your abilities. Whereas like I'm watching Nezuha Reborn last night, and it's like a Chinese animated movie where a guy is like doing sick tricks on a motorcycle. I'm like, you can't do that.
show us your training montage.
Yeah, show me your training montage, bitch. But yeah, so like I said, the topic is basically me just admitting that I'm becoming insufferable.
I was gonna say, this sounds sad. This sounds like a sad existence.
Yeah, well, the thing is that I haven't been like this forever. I think it's mostly just because it's becoming really apparent when I'm, Oh, I didn't actually present. I investigated, my bad. But, I think it's because I've been watching Sherlock Holmes. Or reading Sherlock Holmes. Because it's just occurring, like, every 2 seconds, where it's just, like another one is Sherlock Holmes, he, like, walks into a room, does, like, his whole bit, and then at the end, he's like, oh, I knew you were the murderer the whole time because the room vaguely smelled of dandelions, which were at the previous location where the guy was murdered. And I'm like, cool, you didn't describe that. It's like...
Got it!
Anyway.
I guess it's just harder to show it in, like, writing, I guess. I don't know if it's solely like a writing thing where you gotta like describe the whole evidence room and then kind of like hint towards the answer, whereas while not telling you what the answer is.
But that's kind of what I'm getting at, though, is that like if you're good at writing that sort of thing, which I'm sure Saba was just about to say this, if you're good at writing that sort of thing, you can walk that line where you present evidence that will become, or you'll present facts that'll become relevant later, but they're guised as being like mundane nothings, you know?
Yeah. That's what they do in a lot of like murder mysteries, right?
And that's the thing, is that I'm reading like one of the world's most famous murder mystery like series, and I'm constantly being hit upon the head by like, you didn't fucking tell me that the knife was dull. How was I supposed to know that?
There's also, but there is also like writing styles. Like if you like see some people's writing styles is to really not give much of anything away. Like you have to like infer so much.
I mean, I was gonna say,
that's not a mystery then. That's someone like playing a card trick.
I was gonna say, you seem very, very clung to the idea that in a mystery, the reader has to be able to solve it before it's revealed.
Well, because it's like I almost feel like if that's not possible, like if all of the relevant evidence isn't presented before it's revealed, I feel like that's not a mystery. That's something else, which can also be satisfying. But don't misrepresent it as a mystery, almost.
No, Zach, it is a mystery, but you're embodying the character. Like, you're following from the character's perspective, right?
Well,
sometimes you don't get all the clues.
Because I'm thinking of like the Sherlock Holmes movie with Robert Downey Jr. There's like multiple parts where in the movie he does like his whole like revealing the whatever mystery, and all of the details that he like brings up that are relevant, you could make those connections if you were like, because it wasn't like specific, like in the movie, it wasn't like specific references to like history. It was like, oh, this one guy was wearing a ring that we even mentioned was made of brass, and we noticed that this thing later was also made of brass. So you know
I know
what I
what
mean?
you're saying. I know what you're
You
saying.
seem to be
yeah.
holding every mystery to this standard, though.
Yeah,
Otherwise, it's not a real
mysteries are
mystery to you.
different, right? It's just there's different ways of displaying how one solves a mystery.
I think
You're looking at
it's
that
because
facet of
I
it.
think it's because I have a very personal I have a very personal disdain for being tricked. You know what I mean? Like, just as a real human being, I hate being tricked about something. And so when the story is telling something and it's like, turns out that person's eyes weren't blue. They just looked blue in the light. And it's like, go fuck yourself. That's not fair.
I mean, it could also just be kind of like
The narrative
it's
isn't
just the
trying to
writing,
attack
it's-
you.
Yeah,
It's
I
No,
just
but
a
the
story.
narrative,
the type of
narrative is
writing is
like,
just
and
not
this
your
is like a really
style.
ostentatious way of saying this, but the narrative is trying to say that it's smarter than me by being like, no, but you didn't know this impossible
not.
information.
Okay,
It's
Zach.
not
okay,
saying
Zach,
that,
I think,
though.
yeah, no,
It is,
you're
though.
having this
It's not.
misinterpretation.
It's just trying to have a reveal in general.
Once again, you're following the
but
character. Zach,
no,
the
I'm gonna
character
fight.
doesn't
I'm gonna
know,
fight back
you don't
against
know.
this because once again, I already admitted that this is probably just me being a little insufferable. But a reveal is not. Oh, here's new information that you couldn't possibly have attained before.
It
A
can
reveal,
be. That can be a reveal.
but it shouldn't be. Once again,
No,
that
no,
might still be a
excuse
satisfying
me, I'm gonna
narrative, but that's
fight back
something
on
else
this.
entirely.
It doesn't matter. You, as like a thing, you're following the main character, Zach. There's types where they give you things as a dramatic irony, whatever it's called. The reader knows and the character doesn't. But there's also where you don't know squat. The character doesn't know squat, and you go together and you learn when the character.
Then
learns.
it's not. That's different. No, hold up.
They're both mysteries.
Hold
They're
up.
both
Hold up. The
mysteries.
detail that you just said is different because it's very similar to what they do in Ace Attorney a couple times, right? Where the character already knew this information, but then it's presented to the audience as a oh, isn't this neat, despite the fact that it was never presented at all.
Your bar for if it's a mystery period is the reader or consumer has to be able to solve it before the characters do.
I
not
wish I
there's
had
something that's mysterious and then they figure it out later.
less of am I able to figure it out first, and more of were all of the relevant details presented to make it fair. If I tell you to make a jigsaw puzzle, I give you pieces for a jigsaw, but I purposefully leave out 5 or 6 pieces, and then you're like, well, I couldn't possibly have finished this, and I'm like, correct. Here you go. Are the last 5.
The onus isn't on the consumer to solve mystery. It's on the characters.
I will say
false.
though. I will say
that's the point of
please.
writing.
Please pause. So I will say there is the
didn't even want to get into this.
notion of the character knowing more than you. I think is an interesting notion. I know to a certain degree mysteries, it can get frustrating when it's I can get what you're saying. When it seems that to the character it's something obvious, but you're just where the hell did this come from? I can't imagine that in particular being frustrating. I cannot recall if that is deemed as a good if that's good, you should be. I don't know if that's good if the character knows something that the reader doesn't.
I'm not
know.
even specifically referring to leaps in logic. Sometimes leaps in logic can be really enticing because it shows that the character is thinking outside the box, and obviously it's the author trying to connect 2 points that might not necessarily be connected otherwise, but that's fine because you can say that that's the intuition of the detective, i.e. Sherlock in this case. But one of the reasons why I found Death Note to be insufferable was that the characters were constantly pulling information out of their ass. This one politician always goes to the restaurant at this time of day, but he died at this time of day, so that means something must have disrupted him. Whereas, and that's a big reveal when the guy's revealing how he caught the other guy, and it's oh, well, how was I, the viewer, supposed to know that? So once again, to repeat, I do personally believe at the moment that not having all the relevant pieces doesn't make it a mystery. It doesn't make it a puzzle. Like, you can't solve a puzzle without all the pieces, and that's what a mystery is a logical narrative puzzle. However, it can still be very satisfying. It's just different.
So every mystery, the reader has to be presented with every relevant piece of information, and theoretically, if they had the same mindset as a character, be able to solve it before it's revealed.
You can take some things into consideration, right? So, like, referring back to the Sherlock Holmes movie, there was a part in that movie where they go to investigate this like botanist's like house or whatever, and they like look and they see a couple frogs who have been boiled, but it's like room temperature water in a brass or like a copper pot or whatever. And they never tell you, like, up until the reveal what that means. But I, in particular, as a person who is familiar with, like, phrases and sayings, knew that that's actually a scientific reaction that the guy was investigating, where if you heat the water slightly, it will continuously heat over and over and over because of the copper pot until it boils, killing the frogs. That's like it, like that, and that's like the basis for like a saying. So in terms of what you're saying, or in terms of what your statement just was, Adrian, I wouldn't necessarily require every bit of information to be present, but just stuff that is relevant without it being, important, I guess. Like in the sense of like I don't know, the one that I just said about Sherlock walking into a room, having this whole thing, and then revealing that the room smelled faintly of dandelions. Like, that's something that was never told. Thank you, Lawrence.
Hey, it was mostly Adrian and Zach this time. I tried interjecting, but I was like, they're way more passionate about this than I am.
Oh, you did throw in a few
I tried.
left and right hooks, so that's why your name
I
is
tried
there.
pacifying a little bit, but
I think it's just a difference in preference in reading, because I do not care to be like this. When I pursue media, I'm relaxing. I do not care to actively be like, oh, I want to solve what the characters do. So
I'm not
fine
doing
with
it.
that.
I'm not doing it in the sense that like I want to be like superior to the characters in the book. I am sitting down to read a mystery because I want to enjoy a narrative puzzle. Like, that's what I want. And once again, if you have a jigsaw puzzle that's just missing pieces, that's not a puzzle. That's an activity that you can do that might have value to somebody, but it's not a puzzle. There you go. And secondly, the victim was already bleeding when he fell through the opening.
Oh my, that was such a long look at your notes.
Shut up! We're moving on. Literally the start of that whole premise, by the way, was me being like, yeah, I think I'm becoming a little insufferable. And then the preceding conversation was Adrian and Saba being like, you're being a little insufferable, right? And I'm like, I know! And so it follows that Mr. McGilded, who was inside the enclosed cabin himself at the time, cannot possibly be guilty of this crime. What if the blood like splashed up? What if it came out of him like a guy's?
I mean, he could have been the mastermind behind the thing, but
Hold it.
He might have been, for all we know.
That was his hold it. That's fair place. Hold it. Hold it.
But I killed Sal.
But I killed Sal. But the blood could have sprayed up with a wow when the fellow was stabbed inside the cabin.
God, that feels bloody.
And only found its way to that one particular spot in the skylight. Sure, and that'd be very convenient. There. Reckon so. And let's keep in mind the skylight can only be had faster from the roof deck. I myself wouldn't be able to open it now, would I?
These
He
two
killed
are so
Saul.
But he killed Sal.
There's no way to know for certain, is there? If the gent really fell through the skylight, I mean.
Why don't you have a good look at the floor of the cabin between the two seats, Mr. First? I was gonna say, Zach, do you actually know Mr. Satan's involvement in the Cell saga at all?
No,
how much you know about
I don't
DBZ.
know. I know barely anything about
Oh, so you don't
about
know the
Dragon
joke
Ball.
there.
No,
Great.
I don't.
I don't. Do
Did
you want me to
he
explain
not
to you?
actually kill Cell, but he just keeps telling people that he did?
Well, the thing is that like, he definitely doesn't. He's just a human compared to Goku or whatever.
I
and
do
he
remember
gets-
that, yeah.
He gets thrashed by Cell, but then he tells everyone he does to like calm them down, basically, and then claims credit for it. And no one ever knows that Goku killed him or whatever, or Goku's son technically. But no one ever knows that any of the Super. They all think that Mr. Satan did it. And then he
So
becomes
they're all
rich
like
and famous off
calm.
that.
So they're all calm because they're like, oh, I'm stronger than that guy.
Yeah, they're calm, but then he also becomes famous and like gets like millions of dollars off it too for saving the world.
All right, that's pretty funny. That's a good joke.
I'll kill Jill. But he goes into it being like, oh, this guy's just smoking mirrors and tricks. I can do it. Gets his ass kicked, and then he's like, I'm gonna take credit for it anyway. Even though I know that he was leagues above me, I'm still gonna take credit for it anyway.
What a guy.
He killed Cell.
I'll kill Jill.
Lawrence, you know, it'd be really funny, like this or this image that you just like edited. I think it would always be funny if my name was in there, like every time, since I'm always gonna be streaming, obviously. But then, like, as like the future goes on, and if we have like more people that like come and go often on the stream, if the list of names just gets longer and longer to the point where you can't even see the turtle anymore.
We'll get there one day.
There's the aftermath that showed the poor fella dropped my fair height right there, so it is. Where? No!
But the blood. Wait, but the blood wasn't there.
It's all.
But we can't remember if there was something covering the thing.
My fellow jury members.
Was there a rug? Do you think so?
Well, no. Did someone open it? Is that what happened? Did she like open
Well, someone
the thing?
clearly
So I
tampered
think-
with the
'cause-
evidence, and no one acknowledged it yet.
In the
Yeah,
smoke.
well, they did
we
acknowledge.
acknowledged
They
it
did
once.
acknowledge that the evidence had been tampered with because we talked about that where it's like the police report said that there was stuff in the cubbyhole, but now there's not to help
now there's not.
corroborate Mr. McGilded's thing. So I do agree with Saba. I think that the smoke grenade. Like, because you'll recall right before the smoke grenade went off, Mr. McGilded was like, oh, and I think she might be here in the audience with us tonight. And then, boom, smoke grenade goes off. I think
Right.
the reason why she got caught was because she wasn't actually trying to leave. All she was trying to do was go in through the skylight, remove all the stuff, hide it somewhere, and then get caught so she could, quote unquote, corroborate his story.
That makes sense.
we could all agree this is clear proof of the defendant's innocent, can't we?
Oh, God, I hate the wishy-washy nature of this jury.
The judge has become competent, but the juror, he's shoved that onto the jury.
Kinda, yeah. They're all too emotional. It's ridiculous. Actually, you know what? I think a version of this, and I know that this is for dramatic tension, like the whole like flipping back and forth thing, but I think it would be really cool if it was the judge would be like, all right, I want everybody's like things, and everybody like gets ready, slams at the same time, and then you see the flames go to the thing, so it's like, oh, this is what they're feeling. Like, that'd be kind of neat. Just so that way they're not just constantly being like, yeah, I'm gonna switch my vote. Like, this is there's no repercussions to me switching my vote, so I'm just gonna keep doing it. Oh my God, could you imagine a jury guy later who's like, despite being in Old England, he's like a beatboxer like guy, and he's just constantly hitting the desk.
Change my vote many times.
I believe we can. Yes, sir. It's clear to me now where the filthy rubbish can be found in this courtroom.
You're finding a lot of filthy rubbishes.
Sir, they thought they could pull the wool over our eyes, did they? That stuck my knife again.
She's typing so fast.
I won't tolerate any of the guild's carriages being sullied with blood. I won't tolerate it.
With blood.
Oh, I always knew that nice gentleman who gave us that delightful park couldn't have done such a thing. Dude, she's like,
She's flipping back and forth.
yeah.
On three, that everyone. That thing that Zach just proposed. One,
Zach is again a prophets.
three.
Fucking... Oh,
Oh,
Impossible. We can't have one of Zach's ideas come to fruition.
Oh,
A
do you know what we should
performance,
do?
Mr.
wait,
McGilded.
we can't possibly give them all the details of this mystery.
Someone should clip like last night's animation where we die laughing of him like hitting the thing. So
We have to drip feed the reader animation very slowly so that Zach gets blue balls over it.
Hey, go fuck yourself, Adrian, because I didn't complain about it being drip fed. It's the part where they reveal at the end and it's like, oh, new information that you couldn't have possibly known. The drip feeding is great. I love the drip feeding. What kind of a mystery would that be? If like the start of the book is just here's every detail like in one paragraph and then
one that lets you solve it very quickly.
That's not the point. That wasn't the point of what I was saying.
Oh fuck. Oh, and what would he be referring to now, Lord Van Zeeks?
I forget, he changed voice actors like 4 times.
He's hard to do.
He is.
A blood stain on the frame of the skylight. Such evidence is null and what? Null and void, apparently.
He couldn't believe it himself.
Why?
For one extremely simple reason.
Tampered with?
It wasn't
there earlier. That smear of blood never existed. Look again. I've licked it clean.
What are you talking about? It's there for all to see, and it's clearly blood.
I personally attended Scotland Yard's investigation of the omnibus. The officers involved went over the carriage with a fine-tooth comb, even though it doesn't have hair. It was really strange. So I can state with absolute surety, no such smear of blood existed in the carriage. At least not until this trial began.
But...
Are we suggesting, Lord Van Zeeks, that the stain of blood was...
fabricated, my lord? Yes. And while this court was in session.
What?
Wow.
Who could have seen it coming? What a palaver. God damn it. Okay.
Time to Google.
I must say I didn't expect such crude reason from a prosecutor to stand, my lord. Palaver, informal, noun, unnecessarily elaborate or complex procedure. Historical, an improvised conference between two groups, typically those without a shared language or culture. Verb, talk unproductively and at length.
The dictionary
What
just
a weird...
going through his head. He's just thinking it out loud.
I can't wait for...
Wait.
we might not finish this tonight. I wish we did, but I can't wait for us to bring up that banter topic again, but with Grant here, and Lawrence will continue to not participate, and it's all 3 of you versus me, and I'm like, I know!
Apparently, Palaver shares an origin with parabola, so that's interesting.
Really? That's
and also
interesting.
parable. I'm Magnus McGildy, a fellow known all over the capital for his fine contributions to public life. I don't take kindly to slander, and I'll fight it to the bitter end. Put him up. Even if it's rolling off the tongue of the Reaper of the Bailey. Mr. McGilded, I realize that this is your first appearance in court as the accused. However, I am well aware of your involvement behind the scenes in a great many affairs of dubious nature.
You're saying I fabricated evidence.
Yes.
You're very adept when it comes to avoiding getting your own hands dirty. And each time it happens that a case you're involved in is investigated, you adapt the facts.
Adapt the facts? What does that even mean?
So wait, so have we been fooled? Like, is her entire testimony fake?
How about...
When you wield...
Yeah, that's interesting.
When you wield a fortune the size of Mr. McGilded, however ill-gotten it may be, nothing is impossible. I hate capitalism. Tampering with evidence, manipulating the scene of a crime, bribing witnesses. I toast your ability to concoct the most convenient of stories, sir. Tut tut, Lord Van Zeeks. This will not do, to be sure. Let's now, counsel. I feel like...
no. What?
At the very beginning, when we thought all his money was counterfeit, I feel like that's not true. I feel like he does just actually have a bunch of money.
That's so strange, though. I mean, I guess it makes sense because he's like, you know, a loan shark or whatever. But I don't know. I kind of like the idea of him just being like a charlatan.
Remember the last time we had to deal with a loan shark and he was Red and us?
Red and us. Yeah, that's a good point.
I think it's fair to say this does all sound like a rather far-fetched excuse by a desperate man. The blood in the skylight didn't exist, you say? But if you will all cast your minds back, is it not true that Omnis Bear is in the courtroom the entire time? How could anyone possibly have put a smear of blood in it without the word and his wife seeing? Nah, yeah.
We already know the answer
everyone
to this
was
one.
evacuated, you fool.
Isn't that right now, Council?
It's not true. The omnibus was not in full view during the entire session.
I'm glad
My
we had to
learned
know.
friend. Come on, help me out here. I've laid it up for you. Fucking dunk it. Here's to hearing your opinion on this matter in your own words.
I hope we have the
Come on,
choice.
Ryu. I set the
I
ball.
hope
just
instead
stick
of
it down.
him just saying, okay.
As you
The
wish.
ball is directly in front of the goal. You have to walk 5 inches with it.
Once again, this is a case of like, are you gonna tell the truth despite it hurting your chances? And I'm gonna be like, yes, absolutely. Fuck this guy. Eat the rich, dude.
Rich.
As a defense
Like-
lawyer, it's
like
my
Jerry
job to
Lewis
advocate
said.
for the defense as best as I can.
But he donated a whole park.
Still, he did donate a whole park. I
Eat the
feel
park.
as though it's like
Eat the, wait, did you just say eat the park, Lawrence?
Yes.
eat the park.
Pork.
It's like when Jeff Bezos donates like $1,000 to like a local charity, and he's like, "Look how good I am," and it's like that is less than 1/1000% of your fortune. Go fuck yourself.
Even if he donates
but-
$1 billion, that's still a fraction of his power.
But Zach, one time Jeff Bezos looked vaguely in my direction and then gentrified my neighborhood. Said every Twitter Jeff Bezos fan ever.
The term gentrification has like slightly changed its like actual use case like as time has gone on, but I remember seeing a Tumblr post on Jello's Tumblr that was really great, where it was it was essentially like a building that was like long corridors that were like curved, but it was all a pool. Like you could swim through it and it had all this weird architecture. And somebody replied to that saying gentrified sewer. And
I was
I'm
gonna
like,
say gentrified. Yeah.
gentrified sewer is pretty fucking accurate to like that image. Because
that's dystopic.
It's clean, it's perfect, it's inoffensive. It's like
That's like the perfect like dungeon for like a cyberpunk game.
gentrified sewer. I feel as if something more important is at stake here. There is no evidence to suggest that the defendant did as my friend, my learned friend suggests. Oh, Uno reverse! However, in terms of having the opportunity to carry out the attempted tampering, there is one possibility.
Oh,
Good gracious. Explain yourself, Council.
I wish I could.
You were
I wish I
here
could,
for this.
Yeah, you were here for this, dude. I wish. Actually, we all were, to be fair. But I wish I could give Lawrence's enthusiasm when doing the judge's voice, but then just give Lawrence Grant's voice. You know what I mean?
I would love to have Grant's voice. This is a good voice.
We can arrange that. Pulls out a knife.
Yes,
no.
there is a way to give Lawrence Grant's voice.
It's an easy transplant. I've done it literally ones of times.
Ones of times.
It seems my learned Nipponese friend has no intention of running from this deceit.
Deceit.
I'm sure everyone still remembers it clearly. The recess that we were forced to take. As a result of the smoke grenade fired by the witness currently in the stand, Miss Gina Lestrade.
Bang went the gun. I mean the grenade.
Missed
What's
goes the
going
smoke.
on? Be careful, Ryu. It's a shadow clone. Bear him. Bailiff, do the thing.
The courtroom was filled with smoke, and everyone was thrown into confusion. All of us were made to leave this chamber. In that brief interval, under the veil of smoke and in all the chaos. Wow,
my God.
double spin.
Ooh.
It could have been possible to steal inside the omnibus.
720, as they say.
Yeah.
Why am I pointing at him?
Are you wise?
He's so mad.
What are you trying to pull, you rotten feckless gouger?
Feckless gouger?
Not a feck on you. You're supposed to be defending me. 'Tis a wicked plot. 'Tis a plot to undermine me, so 'tis. Shut your hole. Whatever you think, Viz, it changes nothing. The facts are the same. Yarg. After this courtroom was evacuated earlier as a result of the smoke grenade, a number of inconsistencies materialized in relation to the omnibus. That's true.
That we directly noticed. Yeah.
Such as.
To start with, the storage compartment underneath the rear passenger seat.
So it's kind of funny because once again, I know that sometimes I complain about how like ridiculous some of these cases get with like how complex and like specific the circumstances have to be, but I still think that this would have been funnier if they just straight up swapped out the carriage. Like, I think that would have been fucking hilarious.
That would have been hilarious, but I think that might be a little too obvious even for Ace Attorney.
Right, but like, I don't know, man. Just the idea of it being like the exact same brand, just a slightly different license plate, and they recreated the blood. Like, that would have been awesome.
People in this universe are really not that perceptive, but they could probably, like, someone would have noticed that, I feel like, besides us.
Such as the Reaper of the Baby.
I mean, I would hope at least. I try to give them credit.
Try to give them credit.
I try to give them credit because Zach is actually taking credit away from them. When the police investigated the omnibus, this compartment was full of the driver's items. No one could fit it there. Secondly, we have the smear of blood on the edge of the skylight. As I have said, that was not present at the start of the trial this morning.
They added a background. That's interesting.
Unfortunately, Lord Van Seeks, no one is able to corroborate your claims.
That's true. When the omnibus was first wheeled out, both the storage compartment and the skylight were shut.
Accordingly, I'm afraid to say, you can establish with any certainty if this evidence is the result of tampering or not.
I mean, I'll vouch.
Indeed, you don't have any credit here. No doubt there was not a single person who saw fit to verify such things.
What do you think?
Sorry?
I like how Ryu said that the compartment was shut. Oh, but you opened it.
Yeah, we did. Multiple times to be like,
not
dude,
the
there's something in
skylight, 'cause
here.
we were unable to.
Is there something
my God,
else
it's
unusual?
unusual?
Wait.
Something else.
No.
What?
Is there something else unusual?
There's gotta be, right?
Is it the blood stain in the middle of the floor?
Is there
There's
something
no way it
different?
was
Because
there.
let's look at every facet of this, boys. Okay.
Well, I mean, we could
every-
look at every facet of this, but
418.
we
Does it
have
say
nothing to
410 by the way, the
compare.
new one?
Well, this is the new one we're
how can we
looking at.
tell?
Yeah.
Not from this
This-
angle.
This is the same.
There's
This is the
nothing to
same
compare with.
omnibus. No, in theory, no matter what.
I mean, there's gotta be
else.
something fishy, right?
Well, because they said the fact that the thing was empty and that the skylight was like now has stuff in it. It's like, I guess the blood stain on the floor, right?
Right.
Give me a quick second.
Are you actually gonna go back to the VOD and look at the?
Just real quick, just to be like, is there a thing?
Anything
you know?
glaring?
Yeah. Let's go back to
I'm
yesterday.
thinking license plate at the very least.
That's what I'm thinking too. Episode 7, we're investigating. We're looking at stuff. Arguing about mysteries for some reason.
For some reason.
Just joking. That's the name of the defendant. Very perceptive, Your Honor. Did we not investigate the fucking thing the entire time?
The what?
No, that's where that's where the smoke grenade came in.
I'm pretty sure we looked, because remember, the smoke grenade came in, and then we looked at the compartment again, and it was empty. So we
right. So I need to look
definitely looked at it
before this, but I'm looking, and it's like for the entirety of the stream prior to that, we did not look at it. So I need to go back to episode 6, like a week ago, like literally a week ago.
All right.
Well, we got time.
I'm working on it. I'm trying to go as fast as I can. Oh, here
I
we go.
just said we had time, so yeah, you don't worry about it.
Oh, come on, spin. No, spin the other way, you idiot. No!
Pass that, come on!
Come on!
Remember the first time we've seen the omnibus?
We saw the Phoenix Wright thing. And
Yeah.
the Phoenix Wright sign.
We
can
pog
see
out of our mind.
We pog out of our mind.
So
but we
what
can
does that
also
mean? Go
see
back
the
even
lights.
further, Zach.
I'm spinning it. It's 418.
418, okay.
Darn. It's the
418.
same.
It's not the license plate. Okay. It's
then there's the blood.
real ass detective work.
Dude, what if the juror that's like the head of the like transit department or union, whatever, what if his name is Phoenix Wright? And that's why it's called that?
Oh my god, that would be incredible.
And so,
That'd be
Zach,
insane.
none of the signs are off too? Like, all the signs are the same as well?
Nothing that I recognize, and I just looked at the thing spun like 360, and once again, unless it's something like, I highly doubt that it's something minuscule.
What about inside?
I think it's the bloodstain on the inside. I think it's the bloodstain on the
Maybe.
floor,
They haven't pointed it out yet, as we said, yeah.
which is very uncharacteristic for the game.
Hell,
Because
the
like that
wallpaper even the
bloodstain is
same?
exactly where it's supposed to be. That we
That
already
one's
established as
new.
new. This we already established as new.
And
So
I
it's
remember
this.
seeing the 2 London posters on each side.
Yeah,
The one was
celebrating
words
the
and the other one
celebrating
with
the
the tower.
Paris. Yeah. All right. I don't know. I'm gonna say the bloodstain. I guess. We got nothing else really.
Yeah.
Francois the Talking France.
Maybe it'll be another thing where it puts us in the middle, and it's like in the middle of the thing, and it's like, point out what else is different. And I point at the floor. My lord,
Mm-hmm.
Yes, counsel.
there is one further inconsistency. A mark that surely could
Yeah.
not have been present at the start of the trial.
What?
What in the devil's name are you gonna say now? If you dare to betray me,
Nope.
fuck, I was looking something
Interrupted
up.
yourself.
Silence me! The court awaits the defense's clarification.
This trial keeps swinging one way and then the other. I have no idea what's the truth and what's deception. Oh man, that'd be sick if they had a case where the defendant was like a fake Edgar Allan Poe, and it just kept swinging from innocent to guilty to innocent to guilty, like it was the pit and the pendulum. Oh, that'd be good. Anyway, what am I supposed to believe here?
I shall have to ask you to elaborate, counsel.
Nope.
Where exactly?
Here we go.
Is the
Where
alleged
did-
mark that you claim to be weird about?
Where exactly did you spill your spaghetti?
Where'd you spill your spaghetti, counsel? If we consider the victim fell through the skylight onto the floor of the cabin, you would certainly expect to find signs of blood where he landed. But, as far as I can recall, this blood stain on the cabin floor was not there when the omnibus was first brought into the courtroom. Which I'm really glad all of us noticed that too. Was like, yeah, this is like weird. I don't remember this.
Good lord! Oh, my wig. My glasses. Yes, I do believe you're correct, counsel.
Well said.
Oh,
Adrian's probably busy, I guess.
I forgot I was muted.
It's okay, it happens to the best of us.
Although, as an advocate for the defense, one might say that was a very careless slip of the dick.
Excuse me. Lord Van Dykes.
I believe that blood stain on the floor is a decisive piece of evidence. But if the question is whether that evidence is genuine, or whether it's unlawfully fabricated by someone, I feel compelled to admit that there is at least a possibility that the evidence is fake.
Who are you calling a faker? You're not even good enough to be my fake.
You're
Chaos control. Your this trial is over.
Mr. McGilded. I'm about to say he can decline our participation.
I've done everything I possibly can to cooperate with the court, but tis all over now. I'm a bum.
Oh no.
But you're the defendant.
Tis over, I tell you.
I mean, it's not the way court works.
Memory, recollection, what people think they saw, tis all a nonsense. Facts are what counts. The fact is that bloodstain is there now.
Well.
And over the course of this desperate trial, long and extremely drawn out as it's been, that good-for-nothing Reaper de Bailey has failed to read any decisive evidence at all.
This case started with a mountain of decisive evidence.
Which you prove was not, so I thank you very much for that. I'm scandalized, so I am. I thought better of Lord Van Zeeks. Well, my lord?
What are you talking about?
I must concur with the defendant. The unaffirmed recollection of individuals cannot stand as evidence. At this moment in time, the particular bloodstain in question is very much in existence.
What are you talking? We have a police report that perfectly described the status of this piece of evidence before it was wheeled in. Just look at it, you'll see that there's nothing in the floor.
When I was bringing the police report, my dog ate it. My dog ate the police report.
God damn it.
And in the absence of any credible method by which to prove his alleged previous non-existence. Police report, like a police report that Lord Van Dykes has. I forgot to say that it would be
Excuse
improper
you?
for this trial to continue.
What was his name?
Nowhere he would have let Lord Van Zeek's dog eat the police report, and Lord Van Zeek's like, yes, no way at all that my vampire dog ate the report.
Vampire dog. Your lordship can't be serious.
Lord Van Zeeks, what is your position?
Top, and only top, the prosecution has no further witnesses or evidence to present.
Very well. In that case, as I believe he has explored every possible avenue in this matter, I shall proceed to my adjudication. As a formality, I am of course obliged to confirm with the defense first.
What formality?
As things stand at the moment, it would seem that Mr. McGilded will be found not guilty.
Yes.
Which would mean we've won.
Is that really the right outcome here? Is it really alright for the trial to come to an end now, with all these unexplained inconsistencies?
Counsel for the defense, your closing statement, please.
Uh-oh.
Yes, my lord. The defense believes...
Going down, bitch.
I am here in this courtroom today to advocate for the defense of my client, Mr. McGilded. However, dude, wouldn't that be funny if we did this and now no one ever wants us to be their defense ever again? They're like, I don't want a defense who just throws me out on the fucking bus and shit.
Wow, it's game one, and we're doing what took Phoenix and Edgeworth like 3 games to do.
True. I forgot about that. Ugh. At this moment in time, I cannot, in all good conscience, attest fully to the defendant's innocence.
Only 2 games actually, but still.
That's true. It was the end of game
What are
2.
you saying, man?
I relinquish my defense. Without any question, there is no conclusive evidence to prove that the defendant is guilty. However, there is also no conclusive evidence to prove that he is innocent. That's not what you need in court. You just need it. It's beyond a reasonable doubt. That's what the word is.
Good. Good gracious me!
Are you God?
Order! Order! Some McDonald's, please. This is unprecedented behavior, counsel. A defense lawyer calling the accused innocence into question. Are you of sound mind?
Kid.
Oh my god.
His laughter's warping in and out of reality.
Oh, it was a grand decision to appoint you as my lawyer, so it was a grand decision.
What?
I must say, I didn't expect quite such an exciting spectacle at the end there, but still. Here, have this for your troubles.
You just threw it into the middle of the court. Ah!
Your job here's done, fella, and some fine work you've done, so you have.
What do you mean?
Tis just as the right honorable gentleman so succinctly put it before. The trial can't go on anymore. And your closing statement there was, how did he put it now? Nothing more than a formality. I'm not Irish. I'm Wario. I don't know what to make of all of this.
Oh yeah, that's me again. Was the evidence we've seen genuine or was it fake?
His lordship would be fuming. Any unsightly rubbish should be disposed of promptly, as I said. Good dialogue.
Thank
The
you.
rich child is guilty of something. You mark my words.
I feel terrible, ashamed that I ever doubted that lovely man who gave us that lovely park. My gosh, he just repeats the same thing.
I
She
like
really
that
likes
part.
the park. She likes the park so much.
Now hold up. Let's see how this works, because right now it's not 100% guilty. It's also not 100% not guilty. So does the judge have to convince the jury, or does he just get to like make his statement regardless? Because in
Not
which case,
guilty?
what the fuck is the point of the jury?
We'll see.
Now the proceedings have unfolded in this way. I am compelled to declare a premature end to this trial. Furthermore, the court must accept the defendant's plea.
I thank you kindly, my lord.
I hereby pronounce the verdict of this court.
Objection. But we still haven't determined if the bloodstain in the omnibus is genuine or not. We don't know if they're witnesses or if these witnesses are telling the truth or a pack of lies. We have no idea about the truth.
Doesn't matter. I don't care.
Lord Van Zeeks,
My lord.
the case made by the prosecution was flawed, plain and simple.
I'm roasting your
It
ass.
seemed pretty fucking airtight.
It's interesting, but we're like agreeing with the prosecution and stuff. You want to?
Well, we're not
Yeah.
necessarily
Mad at
agreeing.
us?
We're not necessarily agreeing. We're just saying like we didn't pursue everything to its fullest conclusion, right? So it's like we're on the same side, but we're not firing at the same targets. I guess. I don't know. It's so strange.
This is a very interesting dynamic, I will say that.
If the omnibus presented as evidence was tampered with, the prosecution is at fault for allowing such a disgraceful perversion of justice to take place.
My sincerest apologies, my lord.
But it was not
But
tampered
wait.
until.
When we were evacuated from the courtroom, Lord Van Zykes ordered the evidence to be secured.
I'm afraid the prosecutor cannot show responsibility in this matter.
That's so unfair.
I should be a prosecutor. We're just not a defense attorney.
The culpability of the defendant has not, at the present time, been established by this court. Consequently, the jury will not be required to proffer judgment.
Are you shitting me? And what the fuck was the point of the jury?
What the fuck was the point of the jury? Well, Lord Van Zeeks, it's been a pleasure, so it has. And as for you, my dear fella, I couldn't have asked for a better defense. Do you mean to tell me this is a grand waste of time, like Zach's saying?
Yeah, exactly what Zach said.
It's the law of the land, my good man. I will say that this definitely does make it weird how what's-his-face, the lord of all the courts, whatever, was like, yeah, those would be easy.
Yeah.
How did he know? So, if you'd like to pursue the matter further, you can always go ahead and try to change the law.
Do you think that this guy might be funding part of the big festival that they're doing? Remember, like the thing that's gonna put the World Fair to, like, do you think that? Yeah, I think this guy might be bankrolling that, which is how they knew that this would happen.
Good grief, there's more to say to me, have you? I'm fucking done with you. Shut up.
Dude's gonna kick your ass.
Just one more thing. A warning. This is far from over.
Peekaboo.
Something to look forward to then.
I really do like to see him behind bars now.
Yeah.
He's gotten annoying for a long period of time now.
I hereby pronounce the defendant of
God.
Mr. Magnus McGilded
Wow.
Not guilty.
I mean, we won, but like...
At what cost?
All
Well,
right.
the thing is that we even wanted
and
it to
what?
continue.
In the court.
I mean, if they
well,
can do casual pyromance, they can do casual pyrotechnics.
True, but it's just like, this doesn't make any sense, because it's like, why did they have to, I guess they had to.
Why did we have to stop?
Yeah, like, because
Is that
the
what
idea
question?
was,
Yeah, I agree.
like, why not delay the trial to do more investigating?
We only have
obviously.
1 day to do all of our court trial.
it's
Maybe over the next millennia we'll increase it to 3 days.
This feels not great. Mostly obviously for reasons that they're perfectly intending, but also because what the fuck about the police report?
Yeah, this does feel weird. Like, the case itself was really good and I was engaged, but like this just like abrupt ending doesn't feel nice.
Because it's I talked about it before. Like, I am totally okay with a well-written you lost, like forced you lost in a video game, but this doesn't even feel like a forced you lost. This is a forced you helped the bad guy, which is even worse. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. That feels weird. It's just the police report. Because it's like, if the police report was thorough enough to dictate that the skylight was not open, wouldn't it have been detailed enough to dictate that there wasn't a blood stain on the floor? Like, that doesn't make any sense. And also, I can't believe that we did finish.
Yeah.
We did it! Yay! 5 minutes left.
We have to tell the bad news to Grants.
I know.
I don't.
Okay, let's start with the good news. Let's tell Grant that we won first.
Yeah.
So, Grant, we have good news and bad news. Good news is we won the case. The bad news is we won the case.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to say that. It's like, I think
the words out of my mouth, Susano.
That
Yeah.
certainly was a long trial. You remember that part where a couple of members of the jury just started arguing about whether or not things count as mysteries? That was weird. Oh my god, that'd be so fucking funny.
Like 3 people went to like check on the blood inside the inside the cart, and then you just hear like sort of like bantering, talking, but then it just
Like,
gets
that's not a
louder and
mystery! It's
louder.
like, it can be!
and then yelling up, "It's not a mystery!"
That's something else entirely. It's like, no!
And then he come out.
A
I was like,
mystery is a narrative puzzle. You don't need to have all of the pieces to solve a mystery. I
It doesn't need to be a
know.
puzzle. It's just, yeah, I know. It's a fucking. And then like afterwards,
But
like
it's a story, not a literal mystery. It's
afterwards, the
completely
bailiffs come
different.
out and Ryu's like, "So what'd you find?" It's like, "Yeah, there was a bloodstain."
I'll fucking break your arm if you tell me that's a mystery. Just thinking of having.
They come out all calmly, like, "Yeah, there's a bloodstain there.
"There's a bloodstain for sure."
It was there." Yeah.
Oh, you're saying the people who were inside the omnibus were the ones saying this.
They were having the bailiffs examine it for them. And they're like, "Yeah, there's a bloodstain right there."
Yeah. Uh, who was responsible? And we'll never know.
Oh my god, are we gonna go investigate and then retry, like, appeal and retry him as guilty again? And that's gonna be a continuation of this case?
No, I think he's gonna come back in case 4. Oh
When he's
no,
fucking
you're not implying
murdered.
that case 3 isn't over.
I mean, this isn't the first time that we've gotten a not guilty and the case wasn't over yet.
I guess that's true, but man, it would be a fucking it'd be a long case.
That wouldn't be a first for this game.
That is true, because it took 5 episodes to get through, no, 4 episodes to get through case 1, 2 episodes to get through case 2, and now we're on 4 for case 3. This is third. This is third, because we went from 2 to this. So yeah.
Yeah.
Wild, truly wild.
The 6 enormous fireworks. They acknowledge it. Also, keep in mind that this guy, quote unquote, loaned us a bunch of money. So I'm wondering if he's now going to be like, yeah, make sure you pay us.
What have we
I'm
done?
not evil.
I'm not evil.
I'm innocent. You could tell. You could ask the court of law.
As down to your planning. You're a straight talking fella. You had me astray in the head there once or twice. You know, when you fought against me despite being my defense.
It's water under the bridge. No, it's not. You know it's not. We both hate each other.
I hate you, you hate me, you're gonna try to have me murdered. And that's the thing, we still don't know why Brick Guy got murdered.
Because of his hat.
It gave him too much anxiety. It kept slipping off.
Yeah. He was clearly dead, but if he
Holy
was alive, you
shit.
would have seen his
Adrian,
hat
you
like
just-
constantly falling off.
Yeah, I was about to say, you just stumbled upon exactly me being the villain, like the bad guy, the murderer in one of the Ace Attorney case. It's literally just like everybody who's like related to the defendant has like they're constantly adjusting. Oh yeah, like the guy from game 2 where he was just adjusting his glasses every time. You remember the guy who was like 2 Men on the Moon?
Oh yeah, and then he died immediately.
He was constantly fixing his glasses, and it was the same thing. He was giving me fucking anxiety.
We should hurry up. It's 7 now.
Okay. Sorry. I'm just.
Someone
I
wants
don't
to
know,
put an
man.
end to our play date.
I'm baffled by this.
I hate this little stance pose he has. Makes
The eye thing, the covering the eye.
yeah.
Cover your wages with all the
Wait, who did he
taxes I
just say
pay.
that he pays?
He says I'll be paying. I do be providing a good number of their wages with all the taxes I pay.
Oh, okay. I thought he meant he paid them directly. That would, like, he just straight up admits, like, oh yeah, by the way, I paid Scotland Yard not to investigate anything or write a police report.
Jeez.
I could possibly accept that much. Okay, he's just gonna give me the 1. Although this is the 3rd. Oh,
Mr. Magnus, oh. What's this?
Ooh.
What?
Huh?
What?
I think we should stop here, maybe.
What's this, officer?
I think we
Sooner now
should
is led
stop
to believe.
right here.
No.
I think
Zach wants to find out.
47.
That's a good cliffhanger.
Thank you.
Dang.
Fucking making me leave right when things get interesting. Fucking-
Find out next time on Oboe Stream.
like a week from now.
Yeah.
Which, remember, that was like the whole thing, was that it's like, okay, I guess on Friday when we come back, we'll we'll be doing like this for like half an hour and then pivoting to something so we can banter.
Yeah, we can
It'll be
banter and
okay.
constantly on our minds be like, but what if we went back and figured out what
Look,
that was?
we already discussed one banter idea today.
True.
Yeah.
which I do need to point out evolved as we were talking about it, because the point of that discussion was not what is and is not a mystery. The point of the banter topic was I'm becoming a little insufferable with my inability to suspend my disbelief. That was the point. But anywho,
It's okay.
all right. Good night, everybody.
Good night, all.
Good night.
And you have a good birthday, Zach, tomorrow.
Yeah,
Thank
happy
you.
early birthday.
Yay! Celebration!
Woohoo!